What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the review for Chelsea 2, Wolves 4. I'm Marshalldbdx, your host, and I'm kind of at a loss for words, but the reason I'm here by myself right now, we got the panel in the back, is because I have a lot of choice words to say and I have some apologies to give. And before I go on and do that, I'm just going to go ahead and start off with the quick summary of the game, which...
that wasn't the summary, by the way. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened at all. I don't know what happened. That wasn't the summary.
that might as well have been a summary.
Hold up.
I accidentally backspaced. Dramatic entrance. Let's try that again. Dramatic entrance. Hey, you know what? We need a little bit of humor right now because tensions are so fucking high. And like deep down inside, I'm fucking boiling from this game. So yeah, let's put this mouse over here so it doesn't happen again. Okay. Quick summary of the game, even though it's unnecessary, but we're going to go through it because it's just tradition here. First half, Cole Palmer scores a brilliant goal. Good little passage of play. And then very shortly after, Cunha scores a deflected goal off Thiago Silva. Then, again, later in the game, another deflected goal, this time off to Sassi for Cunha, who's on a brace now. 2-1 in the first half. Second half, you think, okay, maybe we wake up. Maybe we can come back from this. No, not at all. Second half, then we get... Who scored? Then we get... No, so the second goal was actually the Sassi own goal. Okay, so then Cunha basically scores the third goal. And then a penalty, a mistimed tackle from Malagusta, who is horrible today. And... probably should have gotten sent off for that one because he was on a second yellow. And it's 4-1. Thiago Silva gives us a redemption goal, whatever you want to call it, to make it 4-2. Later on, Thiago Silva's wife comes out and says what everyone's thinking, which is the manager needs to go, essentially. So, that being said, quick summary of the game. Horrible fucking game. I have to apologize because... I have to sit here now and admit that I was wrong about the board. Now, I'm not admitting that I was wrong for the reasons that a lot of people out there on Twitter, on YouTube, on wherever you watch Chelsea content are admitting. I don't think that the board got transfers wrong. The reason why I'm apologizing about being wrong about the board and admitting I was wrong about the board is because Man United was the game that broke me on POCH. But this game, at home, to Wolves, after already losing 4-1 to Liverpool in humiliating fashion, to go back-to-back and concede 8 goals in the last 2 games, 8 goals in the span of a week, I am sitting here now embarrassed. We lost to Wolves. We're now in 11th place. And this is the one that makes me sit back and realize I now have to look at the board. I now have to look at the board because the inactions of sacking POCH. He should have been sacked after United. But we all sat here and knew what the plan was. They're going to give him a shot because statistically, he still has a chance to get into Europe. You saw how we play against Liverpool. That's our chance to get into Europe, that Carabao Cup final. I'm not sitting here with chest at all. I'm flat chested. I'm not sitting here with any chest whatsoever to think that we're going to get a result against Liverpool. And then we got Villa at Villa Park. That's not happening either. We're not getting into the 6th place position, 7th, or even 8th. I was so wrong about my predictions. The Poch has lost the plot. He's been lost the plot. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And this is where now I look at the board. You haven't made a decision on Poch. Okay, fine. Statistically, whatever. The decision on Poch was probably, or should have probably, been made from the very get-go. This board misprofiled Poch from the get-go. They thought he could develop young players. They thought he could do this and that. They thought he was an elite manager because he won the league in the 2 seasons he was there, won the league once with PSG and came close with Tottenham Hotspurs with the Champions League. Competed. But ever since that, he hasn't been the same manager. I'm not having this idea or this dialogue that, no, I think Poch is better than this. No, this is Poch. He is shit. He's always been shit. I've never rated him. He was just the pick of the litter. He was the best, in my opinion, of the bad bunch. And in my opinion, because that's the only name I really knew. I didn't know who Ange Postecoglou was or Onslaught was. Had no idea. But now I'm sitting here like a fucking dumbass looking at what Ange Postecoglou was doing, thinking, shit, I probably should have taken a better risk with someone who I didn't know than someone who I thought was a shit manager to begin with. So I look at the board now. You guys made that short list. You brought that list to Boli and Igbali, Clear Lake, and told them, hey, these guys I think are the best. And you saw how Poch goes out there and speaks the way he speaks. We all know that our owners are not the most football-centric, football-minded people. They could be convinced into anything. So am I going to blame the owners for hiring Poch? Not necessarily. They didn't know any better. The people that did know better were the people that they hired. Who, again, they don't know any better. They're seeing the recruitment that's coming out of Brighton. They're seeing the talent that's been brought by Lawrence Stewart as well. Forgot what team, but I'm pretty sure it was a team that I rated. Leipzig, maybe? Doesn't matter. Point is, they're seeing the recruitment that's coming there and the talent that's being brought by these teams. So I don't blame them for having the ignorance to see that, okay, maybe these guys have potential. But those guys should have known better than to come up with that stupid shortlist and have Poch in that shortlist as well. So that's when I look at the board. The ownership this idea that the ownership is making money is ridiculous. The ownership are not going to make money off this club until they get a stadium, which we already discussed. The CPO, the Chelsea pitch owners, are the ones bottlenecking that. And I don't think they're going to budge. We've done this for years now with Roman. They're not going to budge. So they're probably not going to get their new stadium. They have to get these youth players to make any profit. Because guess what? I don't care what you think. Clubs need to make profit in order to be sustainable. Otherwise, you see what happens to all these other clubs that have financial troubles. You saw what happened to Juventus with bankruptcy. Barcelona with bankruptcy. You have to be able to make profit. You have to manage your money. So this idea that they're making profit after they spent $1 billion, where's the profit? We don't see the profit until the profit's there. This is just ideas and the notion that they're making a profit. So don't believe people telling you, oh, these owners are here just for profit. Just wait till you see it before you believe it. Because right now they're not making jack shit. With no Champions League, with no Europe, they ain't making no new stadium. They're not making jack shit. No money. They don't know any better. Okay, say what you want. They don't know any better. So this idea that the owners make a profit is just ridiculous. So because they don't know any better, the people that they hired should know better. And so these directors misprofiled Poch, thinking he could do this and all that, and got him this team. This team, mind you, I rate. I think these players are talented for the most part. There's a select few that I'm like, okay, this is shit player. This is a bad recruitment. Mudryk is probably one of them. But most of these players are talented. They're being sought out by these other clubs for a reason. Not because they're shit, but because there is potential for a lot of talent if trained correctly. And Pochettino was the one that they chose, not the correct decision. And now they've made this last this long. This has lasted for long enough. We are seeing players get worse and worse. Even under Lampard, who all of us at the Chelsea fan base rated as one of the worst managers in this club, got a tune out of Badiashile, got a tune out of Madueke, got somewhat of a tune out of Mudryk. And Poch can't do this? So yeah, Poch was a misprofiled choice. That's on the board. The board should have known better. And the board are trying to save face by keeping this guy in a job. And we get why. There's still a chance that POCH could do something. There's the project, believe in the project. I get it. But guess what? This project is failing. POCH isn't going to get the results that you want, even if it's statistically possible. This man is heading to a straight shot to hell. It's not going to happen. So, to conclude, if you're going to sack POCH, Boli, Ekbali, Clear Lake, if you're going to sack POCH at the end of the season, or whenever you do, but I strongly believe they're going to wait until the end of the season, unfortunately. If you're going to sack POCH, sack the board as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Casually FC. I'm accompanied by my panel of Oliver, Real Chris, Winter Surfer, and Scott now. Guys, this is ridiculous. I mean, say what you want. Disagree if you disagree with what I said. But yeah, I mean, overall thoughts on the game. I guess, Andrew, I'll start with you, man. What are your thoughts and where do you stand on all this and how you feeling?
So I'm going to prepare a speech. I haven't prepared a speech.
I didn't either. That was all off the cuff.
I've already noticed in the chat. Can we stop with the ownership out thing? They signed a contract for 10 years. Okay,
not happening.
You've just got to deal with that they will be there.
Even if they wanted to, they can't. They also won't.
Even if they wanted to, can't. It would cost them financially probably a small country, you know, to buy themselves out of it, which they haven't got. Well, how am I in the mud? Why am I in the mud now, Mickey Joyboy? Please explain why I'm in the mud and not all of us as Chelsea fans are in the mud. Why you're in the mud? Why you're not in the mud than I am? This is the problem, Mickey Joyboy. You'd rather tell people that they're in the mud instead of be concerned about your own club. That just shows what type of fan you are, which is a pretty pathetic one. Listen, I'm done with. I've been done with POCH races, but my attention now goes to getting rid of directors, which means it now turns to this ownership. Okay. Time is ticking. We're 3 weeks into the final. I don't want this manager leading us out in the final. I don't want this manager leading us out on Wednesday. I'm a waffle merchant. Okay, if I'm a waffle merchant, then go to another channel. There you go. So
Pick up Harry.
So it's ticking. I need action by tomorrow, or else I really don't. Or else this really now comes to full attention to the ownership and not the manager itself, because I know the manager is not good enough. So it's my mind's made up about this manager not good. The directors not good enough. So now it turns to the ownership. When I say get rid of the coach, I want to get rid of these directors as well. And I want us to actually start looking at people who've been successful in their roles at better clubs, like City did with the Barcelona guys. Stuff like that. There's no point carrying on this. There's no point thinking it's going to get better. Those quotes in the press conference, which we'll probably bring up, for me, are basically him resigning without. Those are terms to actually fire him. Right now, what he said, that's him basically giving up. He's giving up. He's giving up. He's the worst manager in this league, given what he's got to work with and everything. He's our worst manager ever, given what he's got to work with. People are going to say, well, why not Lampard? I didn't expect much of Lampard, to be honest with you. And Potter was surely just thrown in. Do you know what I mean? So it's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
And we were better defensively under Potter. Far more better defensively under Potter.
Yep.
I've run out of. The thing is, I'm now every answer is going to be POCH out, because I can't critique anymore, because now I am seeing styles of play and it's all shit. Okay, the midfield played like they did against Liverpool, big gaps, stuff like that. By the way, Wolves weren't playing a low block today. They weren't playing even a low block today. He's been outscored by Gary O'Neill twice. outscored by Gary Neville twice. Poch has not evolved since his Spurs days at all. He's a relic of the past. That's why he's been outcoached by everyone in the league. He's been outcoached by Ten Hag, people. He's been outcoached by Ten Hag. As bad as Ten Hag has been this season, he was outcoached by Ten Hag. You leave Caicedo as a one-man midfield. Again, embarrassing. He doesn't want to play Enzo, but he keeps playing him anyway. I'm sure. I don't know why he doesn't want to play Enzo. Maybe that's because he wants like an athletic midfield like he had at Spurs, stuff like that. I don't feel sorry for him. The rivals, if you notice, rival fans, if it's any other club, they blame the manager, but with us, they blame the players. Like with Manchester United, rival fans will blame the manager, but with us, it's the players. It's just now that focuses on the owners to get them out, all of them out. You bring in a competent, experienced, successful sporting director, and whether you bring in an interim or an ex-coaching right away, that's up to them to decide. But you bring someone who's run a club successfully, and when I say successfully, a top club successfully. Okay, that's what you do. Now, if I was a bold brass and had the billions, I'd go to Man City's lot and I'd poach them. I'd pay whatever you want. You get to run this.
And they've shown as well, Andrew. Like they've shown they're willing to leave. Like the guy, I don't know what what's he called? I don't know what position he had, but the guy who's just gone to United, they had a director. I don't think he was like the main director, but they had one of their directors went to be the main guy at Austin FC in the MLS. Like they're willing to leave if the position is there. In terms of, you don't have to go and get like Cheeky, for example. Go and get his number 2, because his number 2 probably knows just as much. It's just he's probably wanting his job as like a number 1 now. Go and get him. Yeah. I'd love to know why they gave up on this idea of Edwards as well. I'm not saying he was necessarily going to come, but we haven't now gone back to that. Like we haven't gone back to the next person behind Edwards. Who's the plan B? Because Vivell left, are we not replacing? He had a position. Are we not replacing that position? It's just open at the moment. It's vacant, which is weird. But yeah, just the way this whole thing's being run, the way it's going. What's annoying is some of the decisions they are making are good. They're just all being made backwards. Like the signing of the young players is good. It's being made backwards because A, the team isn't completed, and B, the idea is to get these young players in and to loan them out to clubs we own. We own 1 club and can send 3 players there, and we've already got 2 there. So like, I said this before with the multi-club thing. That works, but we're doing it backwards. We bought 1 club and they're trying to do we're trying to set all the foundation in place for when we have 8 clubs, which we haven't got yet. And the rate we're going won't have for 10 years.
There's another thing as well.
Just to address a beautiful game. I think you're right. But the thing is, it's not about yes man or something like that. It's just someone who said they're going to do what they said they were going to do. Do you know what I mean? Like Klopp's a yes man to Liverpool, right? He doesn't really challenge FSG a lot at all, if anything. He wanted different players, they got him different. He wanted different players to what they got them. Okay, so he's not you know what I mean? He's a yes man himself. But the thing is, he finds a solution to what he's got. We laughed at Endo's signing. Everyone did, even Liverpool fans.
Yep.
But he made Endo work. He's made Endo work. Okay. He's made Gomez work at left back this season. Okay. He's brought Bradley in out of nowhere. Okay. So, and he's getting whatever he can out of Darwin Núñez, even though he probably doesn't believe he's the best. He's getting something out of him. Okay. But it's a point of the sporting directors are doing a correct job in their own eyes, right? So they're doing the correct job they think in their own eyes. It's not, but they need to go as well, because they're just not there. They're the ones. I blame the owners for hiring the directors, because the directors are the ones who run your club, not the owners. Khaldoon doesn't run Man City, it's the former Barcelona guys. Kroenkes don't run Arsenal, it's Edu. And Manchester United, whoever it is, the Glazers don't really run it, it'll be whoever. It used to be Woodward. It's now someone else, whoever runs it, Liverpool.
Whatever his name was.
Yeah, so the sporting director, that's what the sporting director is key. So you bring them in, they literally are the running of the place. Like, Roman Abramovich never ran the club day-to-day basis. You brought Peter Kenya in, Ron Goulet, then it's Marina and others and stuff like that. So that's where we have to get the appointment right. We have to get a sporting director in first, because they're the ones who oversee how the club will be run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what they also have to do is there has to be a point of people go, "Oh, we need experienced players. We need this and that." Our experienced players have been the worst this season. Okay, they've been absolute worst of the players this season. And when I say experience, I don't mean age either. Like, you know, because I think Gallagher's now in his 4th or 5th season, so I count as a lot of experience in the Premier League. And he's one of the worst players on that pitch every time. We need just competent players, good players. We just need like guys who just been there and done that. Like, they don't need to be world class. Just a few that just come in. We get like a, maybe not a goalkeeper now, but we get like a centre back.
You know what we need? I know exactly.
We need a left back.
I know exactly what type of player you're talking about. We're needing what you would call floor raisers. That's what we need. We need players who are going to raise the floor of this team. They might not raise the ceiling. They might not be the best players. They're going to raise the floor, so there is always a consistent level. It might be 8th. That might be the level they're looking at. That's better than where we're at right now. Like we need, like, Gallagher's not a floor raiser. Sterling's not a floor raiser at the moment, anyway. The way he's playing, guys like Chilwell, not a floor raiser. Gusto's a floor raiser. Disassi, to an extent, is a floor raiser. Those are smart signings. Like, that's the type of like guys you need. Is the guys who might not be the best. They might just be squad players at the best, but they are floor raisers. They will mean that your team has a level. Like at its worst, still has a level. Like that's the like Arsenal have got that. Liverpool have got that. City have got that. Even when it's bad, there is a level at which it won't get worse. We don't have that because we still have players in our team from both a manager's perspective in terms of he keeps picking them, and also these are just the players we have in the squad that mean that our floor at any one time can be the bottom of the barrel because these are bottom of the barrel.
Did they?
Oh, is he going to get him? Is he going to get him? Bloody hell.
No. I think, well, I don't know. Like, he's got your picture for some reason. But like,
no, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I was just blowing my nose.
Vic, are you kind of listening? I didn't dismiss. I said that at the start. My sole focus is on the owners. How have I not talked about the owners? This is what you get. You're not listening. You're not actively listening. You're not actively listening. I said that my focus is now on the owners because there's no point on POCH. I've made up my mind about POCH and these directors. They're not good enough. Therefore, my focus is on the owners. Okay? On the owners.
I was gonna say like this ownership has made it clear. Like after when they sacked obviously Tuchel and stuff, like they said, oh, we're gonna back the manager. But what's the point backing the manager when you could have had Tuchel and obviously he could be the man to do it maybe for like a couple more years, but you sacked him, so you had no problem sacking him. You sacked Potter after under one season. Why not?
It's too late. They waited too late.
They did wait too late with POCH. I agree on that, but like like with Potter, no, not Potter, with POCH, we're not going to even win this final. There's no way we're winning this final.
You know, the funny
and we're probably not even going to get top 8 with this team as well now.
The funniest thing though is that they've stopped backing POCH. He wanted transfers this January, if you remember, after the Everton game. He wanted transfers and they didn't give him it. So also, what are we waiting for?
POCH isn't a yes man then. He complained that we didn't get transfers, and he complained we didn't. Literally the day after the transfer window closed, he complained we didn't have a set piece specialist.
I was going to say on the yes man thing as well. The remit from this club was to develop youth, and he hasn't done that. So why isn't he following the remit? Wouldn't the yes man follow the remit?
Anything that he was asked to do.
But the thing is, it's like he goes, "Oh yeah, I need this, and that." You've had 6 months to develop players. What do you mean you need this? Are you telling me that the whole entire squad we've got no one who can take a free kick?
Also, who gives a shit if we have?
What is
who?
This?
Can I ask a question? Who's Arsenal's set piece specialist?
Yeah, is it Odegaard? I don't believe he takes
I don't know. With Arsenal, they don't seem to really have a set piece specialist.
They
really,
don't.
Yeah, like
not in the way you consider a Ward Prowse, a Trent,
De
Bruyne. They don't.
Yeah, like
a single person.
if you rely on set piece takers, then your system is not. Yeah, your tactics and system is just not.
Yeah, who's Aston Villa's set piece specialist?
I don't know who's Villa's is either.
No one. They've got people who can take a decent corner. So have we. Like Cole Palmer can take a decent corner. Mudryk can take a decent corner. Like not all the time. It's not consistent. But like they can take a decent corner.
I called everyone a minimal muncher, Vic, because they just blame the owners no matter what. Okay, they didn't actually focus on the actual coach or anything like that.
Exactly.
Now, if
and
I
they also
hurt your feelings If I hurt your feelings by calling you a mineral muncher, that's on you, not me. Okay?
And
so you just have to hold that, okay?
And to add to that too, like, listen, I came on, did my little monologue earlier. If you missed it, go scroll back to the beginning of the stream. But the reason I came out with an apology for all of those people that I said were wrong about the board, and I admit that I'm now wrong, isn't again because of the players. And also, it took a lot of people explaining the perspective and explaining, like, this is the board that hired POCH for me to understand. Half the time, these mineral munchers just say, oh, the ownership out, all this and that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, why does the buck stop at the ownership? The ownership didn't necessarily put Chelsea in this position. The UK government did.
You know what?
UK government forced Roman to sell it to these guys. So the buck just, for some reason, oddly enough, the buck stops at the ownership. But the ownership also don't know any better. So, like, they're going to listen to what these experts say.
I was going to say, yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, they hired people who they thought
should know.
Right? They know.
Yeah.
You hire, like I said previously, all the owners don't run their clubs. Khaldoon doesn't run Man City. It's the Barcelona people. Crockies don't run Arsenal. It's Edu. Okay? It was Ed Woodward for years at Manchester United. At Liverpool, it's different people or stuff like that. So it's like the owners have actually done the right thing in hiring people to run a club. It's just who they've hired are not good enough or have a vision that is not right. And that's a problem.
It's again, like, it's what I keep saying. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. They had good intentions with hiring directors because they saw, oh, this guy's doing this at Brighton. Where did, can someone tell me where did Lawrence Stewart come from? Monaco. Thank you. And they saw the talent that's coming from Monaco.
He had worked at Leipzig previously, but he was at Monaco.
Oh, okay. So I didn't get that wrong. So they saw the talent that these guys have recruited before, and they're good talent. And the recruitment, in my opinion, the recruitment's been pretty, decent.
I would say, do you know what's annoying? And it's this, I've read with the owners, not the owners, the directors. It's the same issue as I had with Potter. When it comes to their talent ID, I can't fault their talent ID for the most part. Apart from the odd signing like Mudryk, I can't fault their talent ID. Their problem is the same problem that Potter had in a slightly different way, but it comes down to one thing, and we seem to have this across the entire board from top to bottom. It's decision making. Their talent ID is fantastic, but they use it on the wrong players or the wrong position or the wrong moment. It was the same with Potter. I thought Potter from a
wrong manager.
Yeah, I thought Potter from a coaching perspective was good. He didn't have the stuff that makes you a manager. I thought he would have been a brilliant number 2. So the tactics, the coaching stuff, the manager stuff he didn't have, the man management, the dealing with egos, that shit. And it's the same thing. They are brilliant at finding the players in terms of the talent ID stuff. They are horrible in terms of like the decision making, where it's like, oh, okay, so we know we need to sign like a striker, or we need to sign like this player, and I can find that type of player, but it's finding someone who's like, it's not the right time, sort of thing.
Yes.
Right.
Real quick,
if we can find someone, I'm more than happy with these guys staying if they have no say in terms of. If they don't have a final decision and we have someone above them, and that's the person you can listen to. That was the issue Vivell had, one of many, but the main issue was they didn't listen to him. They listened to the other two, based on what we heard. If you have someone, Edwards, Monchi, I'm just naming directors I know at this point, Vivell, Cheeky, whoever in charge, they are the person who runs it. And when Stanley and Stewart are glorified scouts, basically, they're chief scout, in essence.
And real quick, I do want to address this comment, but before I do, nearly 90 of you guys are here watching, probably hate watching, with your dick in your hands, just ready for us to just cry, and you're going to use our tears as lubricant. So please, before you do that, smash up the like button, please. It helps out the channel tremendously. I don't want to be here suffering, but we're here suffering. And speaking of suffering, it's because we have more members now, we unlocked a brand new emoji. So if you're a member, let's see the Conte suffer emoji in the chat, please, because we must suffer, and here we are suffering. Conte emojis in the chat, please. But to address this comment, Ols, listen, I admit that I was wrong about the board, but the difference between me and the difference between why a lot of people don't want to apologize to someone like Minerals is because Minerals has an agenda. He was all for the ownership up until Mason Mount was basically transferred out. And so that's not coming from a place of knowledge or logic or putting together or coming to a conclusion or having reasoning. That's just coming from a place of emotion.
It's not for the best interest of the club.
And it's not for the best interest of the club either. I go to the gym. I'm a man. I have ball testosterone. So I don't have estrogen running through my body to have me emotionally go on outrages like,
Feels a K a week, bro.
Let's go backstage then, yeah? We'll go backstage.
and so on and so forth. So I tend to keep my composure. I tend to think rationally. I tend to think logically. And so until I have a reason to believe that this board is failing, that the ownership is doing what's best for the ownership and not for the club, until I have a reason to believe that POCH is going to fail, I'm not going to come to this conclusion blindly because I'll look like a clown. Just like he looks like a clown for saying Mason Mount's going to cook at United. What is he doing at United? Absolutely fucking nothing. Oh, Kai Havertz is going to cook at Arsenal. What's he doing at Arsenal? Absolutely fucking nothing. So that's where I come in and I say, this is why he doesn't get an apology, because
Also,
he blindly just had an agenda. Real quick, Surf, I'm sorry.
sir.
He blindly just had an agenda. And now I have, and he never backed up his reasoning either. I am backing up my reasonings for why this board should leave now. They assigned a manager who couldn't do the project that they set out to do. They misprofiled that manager. And even when they realize that this manager is not the guy, they're not adapting their strategy to suit the manager. Go on, Andrew.
Also, this is my last point on minerals, so I don't want to waste any more energy.
Yeah, I don't want to waste time on minerals. There's a whole
I don't
video on
wanna waste
minerals, so go for it.
Any more energy on that piece of shit. Okay, so here we go.
Oh, fuck.
Ask Minerals, if you get the chance, why he posted a video that said Graham Potter could be our Sir Alex Ferguson if he was that against the ownership. Ask him that. Ask him that, yeah. And like Marshall said, is when Mason Mount was getting benched or about to be sold, that's when he turned. Now, we haven't absolved. Listen, I want to say this again because I don't think most people have listened to what we said and listened fully. I want to say this again. It's the owner's fault for hiring directors and following the director's advice. Because if you look at our summer 22 transfer window, to the other transfer windows after that, it's a complete 180 in who we bought. Summer 22, it was predominantly experienced players, or what the term experienced players you would deem experienced players. Koulibaly, Cucurella, Sterling, Aubameyang, and a few others, right? From then on, it's turned to a younger model, and that's not good enough. No, but we have to also bear in mind that the experienced players at this club, and remember, experience doesn't mean age. It means what you've done. Because I deemed Reece James an experienced player. Okay, he's been playing since 1920 season. I deemed Conor Gallagher an experienced player. I deemed Ben Chilwell an experienced player. Sterling, Thiago
I do
Silva.
Badiashilo's
I deem them all experienced
Cucurella.
players. All of them, to a certain extent, have been crap this season. Okay, and that's where I get to the owners, where I go, the owners did the right thing in hiring people to run their club and listening to listen to what should be done. But the problem is the direction that the directors are taking us in is the wrong direction, and they need to go.
Yeah.
Okay, they need to go. All right, so it's the owner's fault. And it will be the owner's fault now. My main focus will be the owners for not getting rid of these people. They need to get rid of the sporting directors first and hire, or take the responsibilities away from them and hire a de facto sporting director who does everything. And then that guy needs to take a look at everything and experience and where we're going to go. And is this manager good enough? To me, the manager's not good enough, and I'd get rid. And that's absolutely fine.
And again, I'm not trying to make excuses for the ownership either. Yeah. I'm not trying to make excuses for the ownership either. This is now another mistake that the ownership have made. We have now come to this conclusion, or I at least have come to this conclusion, that this board being here now is now another mistake to the path of good intentions, the path to hell paved with good intentions. They meant well by hiring people who knew football, who had some, CV of hiring talent and having an eye for talent and scouting. But the mistake was not having someone who experienced with, Scott alluded to Michael Edwards. What happened to these conversations? I know right now he's not available.
I understand why they didn't get Edwards, because I saw people mention it. I understand why they didn't get Edwards. That's not why I'm complaining. I'm complaining if you didn't get Edwards, you must have had a list. Like
Yeah,
it was Edwards,
yeah.
and go to the next person. Like, and if the next person was Ravel, he's now gone. Go and get the next person.
Why do you get Monchi from Sevilla? Villa got him. Why
Yeah.
don't we get Monchi
If you
from
want
Sevilla?
someone who's already shown that they can buy guys for 2 different clubs, by the way, who they can buy guys who might not be the biggest stars and can elevate them. Done that with Roma and done that with Sevilla. Monchi's there. Could go and get him. You could go and get. I'm trying to think of people off the top of my head. As I said, go and get Cheeky's number 2 at City, whoever that is. It might have been Burrell, the guy who just left to go to Austin, but like it
Especially
might have
now
been.
the charge is hanging over them.
Yeah, go and get the number 2. Going.
Who's the Monaco guy? There was a Monaco one. I forgot.
Oh, Edward. Go and get
Paul Mitchell. Paul Mitchell.
Yeah, Paul Mitchell's not in a job now. He's not in a job anymore.
He's not in a job. He's probably going to go to Man United.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he got linked with Man United. Oh no, they're trying to get. Go and steal the guy United are trying to get, the Jean-Claude Van Damme or whatever his name was.
Yeah, what the?
I know he's got 2 names. Jean-Claude. I can't remember the rest of it. Go and get him. He was Juve CEO. Go and get him.
Yeah.
Go and get Campos. Go and get Campos from PSG.
Yeah, Campos. PSG having a horrible time over there. Go and get him.
Exactly.
And the thing is, even if it's because the thing with Campos, right, is he normally only stays in job for like a couple years, at least this stage in his career. Like, doesn't really stay that long. That's fine. Go and get him for 2 years. It gives Winstanley and Stewart, if they're going to stay, time to learn off him and get to the stage where they can be that guy. And then they can take over when they actually know what the fuck they're doing.
Go get Rui Costa from Benfica.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, bro. They just signed a guy for 17 million in January. He scored like 3 goals and has a £100 million release clause. They're going to sell him for £100 million in like 2 years.
Exactly.
By the way, again, not making excuses, but this is putting things into perspective. I don't think our current owners expected Roman Abramovich to be sanctioned the way he got.
Also,
so there wasn't a plan, you know?
I disagree that they're clueless. They're naive, I think is the right word. I don't think
Naive,
they're
yeah, I would say that.
They have other teams that they are doing very well with, and they know what they're doing in a business sense and to an extent. They are naive in the decisions they're making. If you look at the decisions they've made, the major ones, it's naive. And a lot of them are too late. The Tuchel thing, you sacked him too late. It might have been for different reasons more than what we think, but you sacked him too late. If you're going to sack him at the start of the window, or let him stay the whole season.
Yeah.
Or after you've done it, you've brought him there.
I would like them to do that.
That'd be great.
After you've...
I also think what's really naive, because like all the signings they made, like, you know, the youngsters, I'm talking about really youngsters, like the 16-year-olds and all that. Like, they spent a shit ton of money on that, right? Because they're not like this whole squad we got right now. Well, the starting 11, the bench is not 1 billion. It's not 1 billion. So
that person, go and give me Ragnick. You want someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
TJ Black. TJ Black.
He's in the Austria job right now, I believe.
Oh my god, go and get Ragnick.
He's the Austria coach.
I know
you
he
can do this. This is not a coaching role. We can.
He was going to do the same thing at United. He didn't.
Yeah, and then they fucking decided to.
Well, that's why they got rid of him, because he kind of pledged to that.
He got rid of him because he was too public. Basically, telling him to gut the whole thing, which he was right to do.
Yeah.
That needs open heart surgery. That's what he said. Remember that?
He knows what he knows.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he said United needs open heart surgery.
He was right.
And it's back to the naivety and everything. Like we've named nearly 10 guys who could come in and will do a good job and have shown with a track record what they can do. And I'm not talking that kind of bullshit track record type thing. We're talking about guys who have a track record of either buying in talent of a certain level and elevating them, bringing in unknowns with certain clubs, making big decisions. We're talking about big guys. Pause.
Yes, thank you. Big up C Nyack 24 for the $4.99 super chat. Bringing in a DOF above Winstanley and Stewart is okay, but these two have wet the bed so badly it's beyond repair. Get a DOF and allow him to hire new people. Which we agree. I agree.
I agree with that. I totally agree.
I agree. 100%.
When I said them staying, it was more like if you manage to find that as like a happy medium. But I'm happy for them to go as well. Like I have turned on the board, and more specifically the board and the directors considerably in.
No way, was he?
With the loans. I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, that was clickbait. That was from last year.
Okay.
So someone brought that from last year. They brought up the picture again. No. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh man, big up Alexis, by the way.
I turned on the board with the whole loan situation. That's one aspect as well that I'm pissed off with the board at the loan.
Yeah,
The number of decisions, and this is where it goes back to the things
The
that
loans
people
have
say.
been
We're not
so
absolving
shit.
the board. We're not absolving the owners of anything. It's just
No,
we
of
can't
course.
say owners out because they can't leave. The owners, in terms of their manager talent idea, is pathetic. In terms of their lack of trying to replace Vivell and that whole Vivell situation, I really want to hear an interview done by him. I want him
Please.
whenever that NDA, which I imagine he will have signed, comes out. I want to hear his interview. I want him to have an interview about what the fuck went on at this club.
I think
that whole situation's embarrassing. I think the what they've done with managers when they're in a job is embarrassing. Like, I'm not absolving them, but the only thing
I think that's very easy. I think it was just too many voices. Like, he was outvoted. He wanted to go one way. They said
Potentially,
no.
Yeah, because he wanted Felix, right?
It's more I want to hear it. It's more I want to hear what happened from his perspective.
Oh no,
Because
I think it's simple as like that. They wanted to go one way. The Winstanley and Stewart wanted to go one way. He wanted to go another way.
that's fair. I just don't understand why you'd hire him then. Like, I don't
Well, I
understand.
don't. That's the thing is, this whole thing. It's like, listen, everyone's going to go, why didn't they hire a new one in the summer? And I'll recap this whole thing again. They asked Marina to stay. They asked Czech to stay. Okay,
Yes.
they asked them to stay.
Mhm.
They both quit. Okay, they were asked to
Yes.
stay and transition into the next, and then they did. They were so far behind in the transfer window that they had to act, and they didn't have anyone to sign up. And then the whole thing with Tuchel, whatever the actual real truth is, it was obviously a personality mix that didn't work. And then they signed Potter before they hired these, officially hired these directors and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a cluster timing of it. It's the smoothest. Remember, this was never a normal takeover. Just
No,
never
yeah, the way-
sanctioned by the
No,
government.
not at all.
The decisions that these directors and some of the stuff that's gone on with playing staff is embarrassing. Like, as I said, their talent idea I don't question, but just the way they've gone about building this squad is embarrassing in terms of just a lack of cohesion. As I said earlier, like we're doing things like with the young players we keep buying, but we don't have any clubs to send them. The clubs we are sending them to is embarrassing. Going for our loans we've done this season, I have so many issues with the loan system.
I was
The
going to
loan-
say, can we throw Neil Barth in with these Winstanley and Stewart?
I don't know. I swear he's just the dude that handles the youth teams. Like, he's the
Yeah.
dude that, like,
Yeah, he's head of
handles
academy. Head of academy.
the head of the.
Oh, right. Okay.
So-
Well, whoever's the head of loans, basically.
Yeah, but
So-
just
I
don't
have
know,
a
Vic,
question
Vic,
to ask.
I don't know what Vic. That's what we just said. Vic. That's what we just said.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
yeah. That's what he said. They made another mistake.
We just said.
But then you've got to look at what those guys are doing as well. Like, yes, they made the mistake doing that, and the reason they made the mistake is because Winstanley and Stewart are messing up time and time again.
Right.
It's just not good enough.
Yep.
It's
But
not-
let me
it's
ask
not-
you guys
I
something.
think the alarm bell should have been rung twice already with we think it's Winstanley on his trying to sign Enzo and Caicedo as deals. Took too long.
Yeah, true.
And then Barley had to come
really
in.
messed up
Well,
both-
they
the report.
both had to come into it. Well, whoever came in, whether it's Todd Barley or Barley, whoever you want to credit, had to come in and complete those deals. Owners shouldn't have to do that. Owners shouldn't have to do that whatsoever. I can't remember Roman Abramovich really doing that. Even in
Yeah,
the
exactly. Yeah, I was about to say I
Never
don't
had-
remember Roman
yeah,
ever
yeah.
coming in to help
Yeah.
out Marina.
Yeah. I don't remember
Oh.
Caldoon having to come in to do any transfers.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
I
Madness.
By the way, building off of this, right? And we were just talking about the recruitment. Not so much the recruitment, but the board. I like to think the way I like to put myself in the other person's shoes and think like, if I were in this position, why would I have made this decision, right? Do you guys think that when Bowley and Iqbali came into this club, they had this infatuation with Brighton and what they were doing? Because Potter was doing what they were doing. It was like the what's the word I'm looking for? They were the flavor of the month, right? Do you think that the reason we went with Winstanley and Lauren Stewart was because, okay, I like what Brighton is doing, I like what the Leipzig was doing, what Monaco's doing. That's where we're going to go with these guys instead of an Edwards or Paul Mitchell, so on and so forth.
No, because they went for Edwards as their first choice, and he's a no.
Yeah.
And also,
was a
they
quick
weren't
discussion.
infatuated with Brighton. Well, they've always been infatuated with. Infatuated is a weird word to describe this, but what they've always been kind of they had their eye on, so to speak, is is the multi-club model, the idea of like the
Red Bull model.
the Red Bull model, basically.
Yeah.
The best
I
describe
guess the reason I asked that too is also because we're seeing how we just had the reports from the Athletic saying that like the youth model is the reason they're doing it is mostly to make money because we don't have that shiny new stadium revenue. We don't have other sources of revenue.
But then, it's like I mentioned earlier, Marshall, they're going about it the wrong way. They're going about it all backwards because that youth model is fantastic if you can actually make money on those players. But go and look at all the youth players that we've bought, like since they've come in, right? We've bought Santos, has already had one failed loan this season. Like we bought him. He spent I think he was on loan after we bought him. We loaned him back to wherever he came. We then sent him on another loan to Vasco, back again to the club he was at for 6 months. He then comes back in, plays preseason, has a good preseason. We send him on a loan where he wastes 6 months doing nothing. Played 2 games, I think, and have now sent him on another loan. What if we were to sell him? What are we making off of him? Nothing. We bought Fofana, sent him on a loan that I thought was good to begin with, but didn't go well. It now looks like he's on a loan, which will do good for him. He's already doing well. If we were to try and sell him now, would we make a profit? We've got Kasede. Same question. We've got all these young players, but because we've not got the club to loan them to where they're going to play, they're not playing. So what we've done is instead of having these guys lined up to go to clubs that we own or that we know are going to play them, which basically means they need to be our clubs if we're going to know that for a fact, or send them to clubs where they're going to be like Kasede or like Angelo's gone to, where they're kind of a level below what we actually want them to do. David Washington's another one. Why did we buy him? That's 18 million that doing nothing but sitting on the bench.
It's on the bench every game. Never used.
Gilchrist comes on before him, by the way.
Yeah, Gilchrist
all the time.
Like today, like we brought on 2 centre backs.
For all the Cobham sexuals, he was dog shit today. He was fucking awful today. I saw Disassi overlapping at one point. Our centre back was overlapping
from a centre back position.
Yep, and
he wasn't even right back.
Was stood still. Our right back was stood still. Wouldn't pass the halfway line. But yeah, it's just we should have been buying these players. Buying some of them is okay. Like getting in Kasede, Santos, that's cool. Getting in like Angelo, getting in about, let's say 5 or 6 is cool. We've bought like 12. We've got nowhere to store them, so they're just either rotting in the bench, playing for the Premier League 2 team, which let's be honest, that's not the level they need to be playing to, even if we want to make profit on them. Or they're at dead loans, which is why I have an issue with the loans. Or they're playing at good loans and we fucking cancel them.
Oh, like Kasede.
Bro, that was the final straw, by the way. That Kasede loan was the final straw when it came to like these directors for me. That was the final straw.
He wasn't even on the bench, was he today?
No, he was.
No.
He best play between now.
I
Yes, he
didn't
was.
see him.
Didn't play. He
Was
best
he?
now between the end now and the end of the season. Best play 1,000 minutes. If he doesn't, then we've wasted his season. He was having a loan where he played he played 1,100 minutes by the time we cancelled his loan.
His loan is like when Conte bought Ake back during that season and hardly played him. You know, it's like that. It's like I don't get it. If you're gonna surely then give him some minutes. I mean that's the whole different. That's the whole route to the manager. I
will be honest, Mooley, the whole one I don't care about because we've got an obligation for that. Like he'll be sold. Like he's gone completely.
Wait, it's
So
not actually gone
I care
because
about the guys that are loaned, that are coming back, where the plan is to bring them back, whether to sell them on again or to keep them in the squad. Those are the guys I care about.
The manager's like, okay, well, why? We're playing him. I don't get it. If you're going to bring it back.
No, Prime, it had nothing to do with Leicester. They came out and said that we didn't even, it was all Chelsea.
Yeah,
Chelsea?
they tried to sign a guy. In fact, no, they haven't.
Yeah, they
He's a
failed.
free agent.
Yeah,
they tried to sign a guy to replace him.
Sign the Inter guy.
And couldn't.
So it was just madness. I mean, someone put in the chat, he brought him on for height, or he brought him back for height. He hasn't played him. He played him like 5 minutes against Liverpool. That was it.
Ridiculous.
He'll find minutes hard to come by the way, because let's face it, we're out of the FA Cup against Villa.
Comes back, as soon as Lavia or Ugochukwu comes back, he's done. They're holding bench. And by the way, when they come back, so Ugochukwu is now not going to be on the bench. So why did we keep him at the club? What was the point of him being here now?
Right.
20-something million.
Makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying. We're doing this hoarding. I had this problem last year, and we're doing it again, just with players where, like, I hated the hoarding thing last season. At least with that, you can say we were trying to get rid of players and we couldn't get rid of players. Now we're hoarding players who we can actually do something with, whether it's we make profit on them. No one's developing, so we can't make a profit on anyone. Outside the guys who didn't cost us anything, which is the academy. We can't make a profit on anyone else.
The thing about Prime said about Andre Santos, I think he probably is better than Gallagher. You know what the problem is? Our manager doesn't think he's better than Gallagher.
Yep.
That's the thing.
So, and I'm fine with, do you know what? I'm fine with Santos being loaned out if there's a plan, but it looks like there's no plan. And it hasn't looked like there's a plan with our young players the entire season.
Yeah, it's so fucking damning. But before we continue the conversation, because I do want to show you guys some tweets that probably gonna elicit some angry emotions.
By the way,
I can't wait for these.
if it's the quotes, you already anyone who wants to hear my reaction to these quotes, go and watch Lewis speaking earlier.
I saw it. I couldn't believe it.
I'm gonna find a minute for you, Marshall, so you can add to your soundboard.
Bro, that's this man broke me. He broke me. He broke me.
Okay, perfect.
I think for the headphone users, I don't think you want to be playing that a lot.
No, you have to turn it down a bit. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I'll adjust it. But I'll get it in. But before we go ahead and show you guys some of these quotes and some of the tweets that I found in between now and the game, go ahead, smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Over 100 of you guys here watching, hate watching, some of you probably because you might be rival fans, but regardless, we appreciate you being here. Smash up the like buttons. We're giving you some content. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Also subscribe if you are new here, because like 60% of you are new here and don't subscribe, so it does help directly feed the channel over to your main page so that you don't have to constantly be searching Casually FC. And if you're a member, we just unlocked a brand new emoji, the "we must suffer" emoji, the Conte emoji. So hey, right now is the best time to use it. So if you're a member, let's suffer together, okay? But let's go ahead and share my screen and discuss what I have found here. So first tweet I have is from Chelsea HQ. Sports Zone is the source, so I guess take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt. But apparently Chelsea owners are potentially considering a change of manager, and Xabi Alonso is liked by Begdad Iqbali, who is willing to bring in the Spaniard immediately.
He's not going to leave Bayer Leverkusen right now.
Yeah.
What clouds?
I mean, who knows? Maybe enough money, but I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Chelsea,
Why
who
would he
finished
leave?
10th last season with 44 points, and now we're 11th with 31 points.
Why would he leave Bayer Leverkusen right now? He's top of the.
Oh, right now, oh dear.
He's going to be at least
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Champions League with Bayer Leverkusen.
Andrew, forget right now, by the way. Why would he leave in... He's literally, come the summer, he'll have the pick of the Bayern job, most likely, and the Liverpool job.
Exactly.
Why would he leave?
Yeah, if it's any Premier League club, realistically, it's Liverpool. Like, Liverpool are a way better team, a more well-oiled team.
See, thing I will do though, I admire Barley's. I'm going to pre-pause his balls in terms of thinking that he thinks he can get Xabi Alonso out.
Pre-pause.
I'm just thinking how you could have said that,
Is
man.
it pre-pause? Everyone knows how
Hey, yo!
I'm just thinking about
I'm
it.
glad you pre-paused.
Why are you thinking about this?
Oh, that would crack me up. Oh man, if you don't laugh, you cry. Okay.
I'm actually crying.
All right, let's go to the next tweet. These are the quotes, the lovely quotes, the Pochettino quotes. We love these. Pochettino says, "We did not have time to build momentum for this game, to play easy and feel confident."
What?
Oh my god!
What is wrong with this guy, man?
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh my god!
This guy is a clown. This guy is a clown. Excuses
play
after
literally
excuses. Take some
one to
accountability, you fuck. I'm getting a beer after this one.
Also, didn't Wolves play sooner than us before?
Yes.
They did. They played
I was going to say,
less press than us, and had just lost the previous game.
Like, it's his job to build the momentum anyway. Like, and well, yeah, it's his job. Like, he's the one who's managing this club anyway. Like, I don't know.
Hey, but what do we expect, man? He doesn't do tactical sessions. He just spends all the time doing the gay contest and getting everyone injured. Like, come on, man. Yeah.
I don't know what to think, because I'm pretty sure Wolves' form like ain't too great either. Like they haven't really, I said form
talking of
great. I don't even
form,
know.
Sorry, people, you know we have the same losses as Everton right now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
What, this season in the Premier League?
Yes.
We have worse goal
Oh,
difference than not
Negative
worse goal
one goal
We're
difference.
lucky-
We have
we're lucky-
worse goals conceded. Sorry, we've conceded more goals than Everton have this season.
We're
That's
lucky they
become a
got a point
saucy
deduction,
stream.
aren't we? Because they'd be ahead. Would they be ahead of us?
No,
It'd probably
they'd
be.
2 points behind us.
Yeah.
It was 10 points, wasn't it? By the way, they got deducted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So
Poch out.
they'd be 2 points behind us if it wasn't for that points deduction.
We're getting further and further.
By the way, Everton haven't won at home since they beat us at Goodison Park.
Okay. Pochettino.
He should
no,
be
no,
expected
yeah,
to
what is
win.
Their
Question.
form in general is dog shit. Like, it's awful.
Okay. Okay, let's
What
continue.
does the ownership think this manager can do now? Like, does he think he can get us like top 7?
The thing is, they're
Cup?
holding on to the hopes, the hopium
Of what?
that he can win the Carabao Cup and still get us into Europe.
No chance.
He isn't going to win the Carabao Cup, and we all know,
know.
this.
We
It would
both-
take
we all
some
know
miracle
this.
to win it. Like, we struggled again. We did beat Middlesbrough 6-1, but we struggled to beat Middlesbrough in the first leg for starters. Couldn't do nothing. And we've had an easy route to the Carabao Cup final. It's not like we had a hard run to it, and we've been impressive. We've had a
Don't
very
disrespect
easy run.
marshmallows.
Yeah, that's Marshall's weekend, mate.
Hey,
Like,
come on now.
I'm just saying.
I'll
the
bring
quotes-
any manager
the
like for that
quotes
game.
from Poch that we've seen or about to see, for me now, are starting to look like he is begging for the sack. He hasn't got the balls to resign.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wants to pay up.
Yeah.
He's begging for the sack. That's what's these are these quotes right now.
Also-
He's given up.
Yeah, and
Just before
Andrew knows about
just
balls.
before you get to the rest of the question. Just
Yes.
pause. Just before you get to the rest of
Yeah.
these quotes, I thought people would enjoy a couple more stats. We've had more losses this season than Bournemouth, and we're only 2 goals. We only conceded 2 less goals than them this season. Bournemouth, by the way, with a manager who's only been managing for about 4 years, who is completely new to the league. They have a bunch of new players. One of them scored today, by the way. One of their new players. Another one got the assist.
Bournemouth got a game in hand as well to us.
If they win that game in hand, they're a point behind us.
Yeah, like it's not. It's reminding me of last season again. Like, we're gonna be dropping down to 14.
No, it's worse than last season. It's worse than last season. I'm sorry.
It is.
It's actually like
turning around.
it's actually worse than like last season with points at this stage. Then
Oh no! Before
I think
before
it's the exact same. I think I read it's the
before this
exact same.
this is why I feel like it's
Yeah,
just gonna
before
same
this
route.
game,
It's no
we had the
shit.
exact same. We had the
Shit.
exact same points. We were in the exact same position. The only difference between this is obviously before this game between last season and this season was how many goals we'd scored and how many goals we conceded. Was the only difference.
Polar opposite, quiet. Actually, we kept more clean sheets
Oh,
last
and I
season.
think actually no. I think we've drawn less games, but like we've won more and lost more. If that makes sense.
I think the
Yeah, let's
players
go
have
to
also probably given up on the manager as well. By the looks of it,
Maybe.
Oh, they have. I said
Well,
this before,
definitely.
like,
Like,
Enzo-
they watching the
Enzo-
game.
Enzo is not listening to this manager, and you could tell from the way that I missed a lot of the games that I woke up late. I watched from like the 75th minute. You could tell in the last 15 minutes that so many of these players weren't listening to what the manager was
Yeah,
saying.
they
Like,
were just
these
trying
players
to-
were doing stuff whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, they were just freestyling it.
Why would
They
they
said
have?
something.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's go on to the next set of quotes here. Pochettino, the main problem was that we felt the pressure and the stress to win, to play well, to perform. We didn't have time when Palmer scored to build our momentum in the game and to dominate and play easy and feel confident. You're at Chelsea Football Club. You are a manager in the Premier League at that.
It's not just that
There's
though,
always
Marshall.
pressure.
It's not just that though. We have a cup final in a mere matter of weeks, and we're persisting with a guy that feels that feels the pressure.
How long did it take?
Relish the pressure.
We weren't dominating the game when we scored.
I actually thought that was our best moment. Like, before we scored, I thought that's how our best play.
Of
And then
course it
after we
was.
scored,
We weren't playing-
no, but after that we didn't want.
That was one good
second
passage, and
Don't
Yeah, that was
dominate
great play.
Any point in this game, we didn't dominate any point in this game.
Yeah.
In the second half, we didn't make the keeper work or anything like that. It was just it's the same pattern of play. It's shit. That's what it is. A pattern of play is boring.
I
It's
disagree
dull.
with this comment, by the way.
Bro, this
I disagree with
quotes
this
are
comment. They're not even
Spursy.
Spursy. No, they're not even Spursy. These are the type of quotes I'd expect from a manager in like League Two. I'm not even.
These are the
These
type of quotes I expect from Potter.
That someone managing like no, not even Potter. I'm talking about these are the type of quotes I'd expect. No disrespect to Sheffield United or some team in the Championship.
This is if Chris Wilder said these quotes. If Chris Wilder said these quotes yesterday after losing 5-0 to Villa, then I'll totally understand it because he's at Sheffield United.
Yes.
Yeah. I was at Sheffield United. This guy is a loser. All right. He is a loser. All right. He has loser mentality and he's let it spread to the players. He's a coward. He sets us up to fail all the time. He throws people under the bus. He is just an absolute clown, and he's not evolved. He is an archaic manager. Okay, he's not evolved for 6 years.
Keep bombing this guy.
6 years.
I'm sorry, I didn't even clock that. By the way, I didn't even clock that. Someone in the I apologize, I can't really say your name properly. Someone in the chat said it correctly. The best time to build momentum in the game is after you score a goal.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's getting lost in this. We were 1-0 up.
If you can't build
lost that
momentum
lead
after you've scored,
as
when
quick as we
can you
got
build
it, by the way. No, Andrew was dropping bombs.
But this is the thing. This is Mauricio Pochettino. Protect the point. You know, we're always on the back foot when we score, and then things like what happened.
But he's got no game plan. There's no game plan from this guy. I swear, the game plan, or like I said, the game plan is like, I'll got Sado sitting by himself. I'll put Enzo here. I'll put Gallagher in the 10. I've got Gallagher mainly in his own half in the first half. I saw him at left back at one stage. He's supposed to be pressing from the front. We're not even pressing from the front anymore. We're not even doing that. We used to do that earlier this season. We're not even doing that anymore.
On Gallagher, by the way, there was obviously I missed most of the game, but there was a clip online I saw, a clip of a touch that he did that he nearly broke his own leg doing it. It looked like he nearly broke his own leg. How bad the touch was.
I need to see that.
Let me see if I can find the tweet again. I'll put it in the.
Wait, are you sure Gallagher was supposed to be the 10 today?
He's in there
Yes.
to play the 10.
Well, what else is meant to be
When
there?
I was watching the game, I thought Enzo was the
watching
10.
this entire season.
I mean,
No.
Chris,
I
wait.
seen
This is
Enzo
what
play
I've
10 randomly.
This is what I've clocked.
The only other alternative is that it's 4-3-3 with Enzo and Gallagher as 8s.
It felt like maybe a 4-3-3.
This is what I've clocked with why he lets Gallagher have a free roll. He lets Gallagher have a free roll. He tells Gallagher
That is insane.
He literally tells Gallagher, go around the pitch and break up as much as you can wherever. And that's everyone else sticks to a position, but he's tells Gallagher to move about like that. But the problem is it leaves holes everywhere because he doesn't play a double pivot. He plays Caicedo and single pivot and Enzo out to the left like that because he wants fucking Wanyama and the Belgian guys as a double pivot that he had at Spurs, and that's just not happening. That's because the football's evolved. He's a dinosaur.
Now, this kind of usage is crazy because we've been saying it since the first game of the season. Give Gallagher a simple game plan and simple instructions. He can carry that out. You're leaving it. The last thing you want to do is leave him to his own devices.
Yeah.
I just put the thing.
See that? Put
Anyone wants to go on, like
the 10 is a free floating roll, but not when you go back in your own left back position or taking the ball off.
It depends how you play the 10. And this is the thing: is there are so many ways you can play at 10 because the prototypical number 10 has kind of died in football. Your Juan Mata type number 10s.
Yeah, they've gone.
Like that's kind of died in European football. You can have a 10 play like Havertz did at Leverkusen, where they're more of a second striker. You can have a 10 be like, for example, number 10s that you can use, but like you can use them different ways. He has his number 10 basically be have a completely free. Also, yeah, like a touch thing that it's his first touch. He basically receives the ball. Anyone wants to find it, they can. He receives the ball.
Is he breaking up or is it just me?
Yeah,
it's breaking up a bit.
It's gone really bad now.
I'll jump out.
I just want to go into the next quotes as well because there's plenty of these.
Are they worse than this?
Yes. They might get a little better, but I don't know. It's all subjective, Chris. Pochettino, the expectation is massive. All the people believe that we need to be in a different position. That is not made easy to the players to perform. In the way we expect.
I wonder who set those expectations in the preseason with his quotes.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Scott. So far, so good.
Yep.
Cool. There's the moment it happens. He takes a touch, then takes another touch, and the touch is so heavy he has to dive or like lunge for the ball and nearly breaks his training leg or like bends his knee inwards because of how bad the first touch was, like or how bad the touch away from him was. He's awful.
Absolutely fucking horrible.
I'm gonna put something that Jed sent me in the Casually group chat. So I'm just gonna put it in there, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
Even if his
Right.
team ain't good enough for top 4, it shouldn't. Like,
Okay,
what
it's
is
in
the expectation?
It's
What
in
the
the Twitter group chat, the Casually one. So just look at that picture.
Yeah, Dark. He nearly done his own ACL from his own touch.
Really? I didn't see that.
Bro,
That's
I put it in
bad.
the Casually group chat, Chris. Go and watch it. Like, go
I
and
think there
go
was
and look
some
at the
rumor-
moment he
some rumor
lunges
going
like.
around- There's some rumor going around online that someone tried to say that Enzo, like Gallagher did something. Enzo said, "You've got a fucking left foot" or something like that. Use it or something like that.
Oh, I've seen this. Okay, yeah, I know.
I don't know if it's true or anything like that, but
No, I think that was just a joke. But
there's a bit in the first half where he got the ball in the penalty area. He got it given to him. Instead of driving forward, he went to his left, but there was a player there. Do you know what I mean? So it was like he actually went towards.
And the thing is, Andrew, he doesn't have a left foot because he took his shot at the end of the game at his left foot, the one where he had an open goal and somehow managed to hit a defender.
He placed that shot instead of smashing it. Do you believe that? He placed that
Oh
shot.
my god! Don't remind me of that shot.
That's the one I
Freaking
actually
way.
missed. Is that bad?
It was
Yeah,
an open goal.
Yeah.
Bro, it's an open
Yes.
goal. Open goal.
It was an open
He
goal.
passed
and
it pretty much.
He hit a defender
Oh.
with the shot.
He placed it beside.
There's a reason why I was in and out in that game because it was done after that 1-1, even 2-1. It was just done. You know it. Like, it's the way we was playing. I didn't give a shit about that game.
I knew as soon as it was 1-1 that it was curtains.
It's bad. It's bad when now. I'm not like it's just expecting loss after loss after loss. It's the new norm because like after last season, I thought like this team, we're buying a new team, you know, different expectations, maybe, you know. And now we're getting
I
this
would.
still.
Sorry to interrupt, Chris. Go AM. I would
Yeah,
pay for him to watch him in the MLS Skills Challenge. I would pay good money to watch that.
Right,
Oh
let's
my
look at
God.
this, let's look at this little
I
passage
would
of
pay
play.
good money to watch him in the MLS Skills Challenge against the likes of Carlos Vela's not there anymore, but against some actual ballers, like I would pay to watch.
He might surprise you, Scott. He might be a hidden baller just under POCH. Just
Yeah, this is the one I said, bro. Like, you won't be able to play it
So-
properly, just deep the touch. But like,
alright. So
that's karma, by the way. So he's in space. It's not that one. That's his first touch. Then look, this touch.
wait, what happened here?
Look
Oh
how
my
far away he does it.
days.
And then watch the lunge.
I
And
wanna
look, watch
watch
his
his
trailing
knee.
leg.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
He does his own ACL.
yeah, knees
Oh my
sometimes don't bend the
God.
right way, man.
He nearly
Oh fuck!
Dude, he was so bad today. Him and
He's made out of
Chilwell were
nails, man.
absolutely
Nothing
horrible
breaks that
today.
guy.
Like the amount of times
But we-
that he lost the ball, and Chilwell as well. Oh my God, Chilwell was potentially at fault for almost every single, well, at least the first 3 goals.
Oh yeah.
Malagusta,
like
the penalty was Malagusta. I forgot.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
every other goal, Chilwell was involved. Like
He's
this
cooked.
guy, Chilwell wants me. Chilwell makes me want Malang Sarr to come back at the club. Like that's how bad it's gotten.
We need Cole.
It makes me want Colwell back.
Yeah.
I've not
Jesus
listen,
Christ.
I've shat on Cole all year at left back, but I can't remember him having 2 games
This
in a row
bad,
like
okay.
this. I just can't.
Hey, for all this, bro, I'd bring Marcus Alonso back in a heartbeat over this guy. Bro, people don't remember. I tried for years to get this guy out, and I would take him
Same.
over Chilwell with any day ending in a Y.
Bro, can I
But don't
ask,
forget,
what's
people,
that-
don't
can I
forget.
ask-
At least Alonso can control the ball, you know?
Can I ask, what is Aspilicueta doing right now? Is there, like,
Yeah.
sign of approval?
I think he got injured for Atleti, actually. I think he got injured.
He's-
Bring
don't
back
forget,
Aspie
people.
at this point.
Some
Hey, Dark,
people
let's bring
remember.
back Aspie.
Hang on. Some people told us. Some people on Lewis's channel told us that this guy's the best left back in the world. Some people told us he's better than Alfonso Davies. Some
Oh,
people said he's better than Alfonso
hey.
Davies.
I rated Chilwell before the injury, like quite highly, but not best. But like, I really like
Best
Chilwell.
left back in the world.
Nah, yeah, like I wouldn't
In
call
the
him best in
world.
the world, but I thought he's like a top left back, like under
Some
two.
say he's the
goals, all
best
that.
in the league. One of the best in the league, we're told. One of the best in the league.
But now he's just done. Like he
What is
can't
this?
run, he can't even like attack that well. Even now lately.
Why
Let's see
not?
averages.
Sorry,
positions,
what's Caicedo? What?
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 Yeah, Caicedo's deeper than Disasi.
Why is Caicedo our
Yeah,
centre-back?
like
What? Are we playing
He was-
5 at the back?
Yeah, Caicedo was playing like the Jorginho role today, pretty much. He was like, in between the center backs, being available. He was left by himself. That's
On a
why I think
side
we were
note,
playing somewhat of a 4-3-3, to be honest. And
On a
Caicedo
side
was a single
note,
pivot.
how was Nkunku today?
barely.
Barely.
He got
visible.
12
barely had
just
any
to put it-
involvement.
In the first half, we actually looked this up in half time. He had 12 touches in the first half.
Yeah.
So we played him the same way we did against Luton when he came on. Brilliant.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Forgot about
They
that.
played him
No
as a
involvement.
striker instead of playing Jackson. Which, by the way, I'm not going to forget Jackson either. This guy has absolutely no heading as well. Okay. Listen,
know
I
you
didn't
don't.
expect Jackson to come in and do much, but at least with Jackson, you get link up play, you get some type of build up. You would have probably had more chances.
You get a
But no,
focal
instead you
point.
wanna
That's
play-
the main thing.
Yeah, exactly. Instead, you want to play Nkunku in the number 10 position. The guy nearly got injured again today, by the way, with his attempt at goal, and where he fucking falls straight with his knees not even buckling at all, and he just bounces into the signs.
It was crazy because his solution to that mess up of the lineup from the first half was to, I believe, he took Caicedo off for some reason.
This is
with
true.
Jackson.
This is actually
And
true.
then I had a look. We conceded instantly after that.
Yeah. Gallagher's man as well. Gallagher's man scored.
Of course.
Yeah.
Was it from a corner? Was it from a
No. It was that cutback.
Counter attack, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he cut it back to the guy Gallagher was supposed to be tracking, and he scored. Yeah.
Wait, that's not average positioning, right?
Yeah,
I do
Yeah.
remember that.
That whole left side's fucked.
Yeah.
Or a whole left side in general.
You
But I
think?
want to.
Chris, I meant, bro, we've spent a very large amount of money. Some will say $1 billion, but it's anywhere from 700 million to £1 billion, and we still need to fix our entire left-hand side.
Like,
Dude, you know what's
Like,
crazy? This is kind of what Surfer was saying. Like Gallagher literally has like a free role as a 10, which, by the way, with a number 10 position, I agree. It's mostly a free role, but one, Gallagher's not the experienced player to know what to do with that free role. Like the amount of times, this is what pissed me off with Gallagher. Besides him getting dispossessed constantly today, the amount of times that this guy literally looks at the rest of the teams and goes, "What the hell, guys? What are you doing? What's up? Doing all this?" Like, you, Pochettino, I swear to fucking God, I damn you for ever giving him the captaincy, because now this guy has the balls to actually yell at his other teammates saying, "What are you doing? All this?" Like, you know what the fuck you're doing, Gallagher. Meanwhile, you're losing the ball every other fucking play.
Oh, yeah. We did score from a set piece today. You're right.
we
We
did,
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Thiago Silva.
Yeah, Silva. Yeah.
Yeah, Thiago Silva
This is
flicked
what I'm
it in.
saying.
This is why
We've actually-
I
I'll
just
tell you
realised
what.
why Thiago Silva.
In terms of our actual set pieces this season, in terms of attacking set pieces, we're not terrible at them. We're not great, but we're not terrible. And this dickhead's talking about, "Oh, we need a set piece specialist."
I wonder if someone
No.
brought that for him. Brought that, probably
Well,
not.
no, we need a set piece specialist for defending. We need a coach to help us defend set pieces. That's what we have problems with. But do you know what's pissed me off about looking at this, and it's pissing me off about Gallagher that I've realised recently? I don't know why I've just realised
Jesus
it
Christ,
recently. but I've
Goyim
noticed
actually
it
had a
last week.
serious comment. That's how you know this is bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, you know, his pressing does suck because all he does is run at people. Like, he just runs. There's no organisation. I've said this before. Me and Peter talked about this on a previous Casually stream. Like, he doesn't have... His pressing actually sucks. His engine is what's good because he can run a lot. His actual pressing is terrible because he's thick as shit. So he runs at people. He doesn't cut passing lanes. He doesn't run at people with any effectiveness to, like, stop them from going anywhere. He just runs and leaves a big gap for someone to pass into. But what's pissing me off with Gallagher, is he's doing the same thing that we moaned at Mount for doing. He keeps getting in the same areas as the wingers and wanting to hold their hand. I noticed this. There was the same thing in the last game, the Liverpool game. He did the same thing on the left side with Mudryk. Him and Enzo, sorry, their average position was basically on top of each other.
There you go.
Pause.
Pause.
I am just like, because I was watching Thiago Silva getting cooked today, right? Like, well, all of us was, like, for pace and everything. And no wonder, because like Caicedo had to push back as a centre back, and basically Thiago Silva had to be like that left back without even really.
Chilwell wasn't covering him at all.
No?
Yeah, because that's the average positioning. Like I noticed the left side was like very like getting hit hard, and obviously the manager do that, like to do that, and
But it's
players
back to tactics because you know Chilwell's going to
Like-
do this, and you want Chilwell to do this to an extent. But the problem is Chilwell can't recover. It's just,
maybe you shouldn't have
Like,
like
you can't really
stuff
recover.
on that side
But-
either.
I was going to say, to mitigate that, there's two things because Arsenal had the same problem, not the same problem, but they had a similar thing last year with Zinchenko. The way you mitigate that is the same. One of the ways is the same way Arsenal did last year. You get the midfielder to cover that space, or you get the centre back to cover that space. But our midfielder is Fernandes, who's more often than not playing as a striker, and second, our centre back is a 39-year-old who can't cover that space.
He looked like Maguire today. Like he was just getting outpaced like completely by anyone.
The
Like,
problem is as well. The problem is as well. You got Gusto on the other side that wants to do the same thing. He wants to get forward too. So there's just like there's no defensive balance there.
I'd rather
Like-
Gusto go forward.
Which you can do, but you need to then have a structure in your midfield to
yeah,
mitigate.
you-
that.
someone needs to cover it.
You need to have the structure in the midfield, and you also need to have very fast centre backs. Like look at Van Dijk and Gomez in the title-winning season. That's the sort of thing you
Look
need
at-
to do that.
Going back to Tottenham, you had two of the best centre backs in the league in Alderweireld and Vertonghen, who knew how to do that. Partly because both of them had experience and had previously played at fullback, so they knew how to defend in those areas. They were agile enough and had the experience because they played there previously for previous clubs of how to defend in those areas.
Yeah, that whole thing's just baffled me. Like,
No, it baffled me too. I'm glad the home fans turned on Chelsea board today. I mean, it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen at some point.
But even then, I think it's a bit ineffective. They just chant Roman Abramovich like it's going to do much. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I'm hoping that as a result of this, the board not the board, I should say, the ownership will do something. Listen, at the end of the day, I think what's going to happen is they're going to stick with him at least until the Carabao Cup. And if he doesn't win the Carabao Cup, maybe something might happen, or they're just going to wait it out until the end of the season.
I already know
At
what's
the end
going
of
to
the
happen.
season, they'll do everything. Scott, what do you
I
think is
already
going to
know
happen? Oh
They're
man,
going to do the
the
same.
man, the myth is here.
It's going to cook the owners. I already know what they're going to do, bro. They're going to do the same thing they did last year. They're going to wait until it's mathematically impossible to get Europe, and then they're going to sack him. By which point our season's already over, and by which point you might as well leaving him till the summer when he's in, and then you sack him in the summer. That's what they're going to do.
It's kind of crazy how this is
They're going to do
timed
the same
almost.
thing they did with Potter last season. I guarantee they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah. I was just about to say that it's almost crazy how this is almost lined up identical to last season. Like
Yep.
immediately, I thought, is this the Southampton moment? Is this a Southampton moment? Like,
No,
is
this isn't.
where-
No,
is this
we
where it's gonna
passed the
happen?
it
Southampton
did
moment.
feel like the Southampton game.
Southampton moment was Manchester United.
United,
When
yeah.
we got 4-1 to that dog shit United
This is the
team,
second
they were getting
Southampton.
piped. They were getting piped by every team and being made to look terrible by Burnley,
looking
by
good right now.
everyone. That was the
Kinda.
moment.
Yeah. Oh my days. Okay, actually, I have some more quotes here for you guys. This is great. I love it. I love it.
Stop talking.
Yeah, you've probably seen him already. Pochettino, I think we're all not good enough at the moment. At the moment, this is the reality. Myself also. What we are showing today is not good enough. One more here.
Man, spitting
Pochettino.
facts right there.
No, it's not.
Pochettino. No one can be
He's talking
safe.
about
No. I
No,
don't.
he's
I
not.
don't want to come here and say I'm the best at the moment. We are not matching the history of the club. This is true. We need to accept and be critical. We will not give up. Well, it's great you won't give up, but you should give up because we need you to leave. You need to go, man.
I mean, with the previous tweet, that effectively is giving up. I'm not good enough.
yeah,
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 This
that's what I
guy
mean.
here.
Yeah, he's not good.
Well, if we're going to hold him to his
Guys.
own standards, by the way, he says that
Yeah.
this team is a meritocracy. If you don't think you're good enough, then you should be removing yourself from the situation.
listen. He's only human. That's what he says right
he's
here. I am
something
human.
else.
Of course, it's not a nice situation in football. You have to accept with a club like Chelsea, with the expectation, you need to accept that. Accept that he's human.
Also, Chris, he's not taking the blame himself. He's blaming the players as well. Like, if you can't, like, he never talks about him up until that moment, or he mentions like myself included, but he blames
Right,
the
yeah.
players who weren't good enough.
But
It's-
I
Chris,
think all right. The players
he
should
used
be.
to be in
I
high
believe the
season
team
throwing
should be
his
a lot,
players under
not a
the
lot higher, but I think this team should be like somewhere in top 6 easily, right?
Chris, we'll put it to you like this: it's like a player stand when their player ain't playing well. Oh, but everyone else is terrible as well. You know,
No, yeah,
it's the same thing.
I know, yeah, like he's taking like part of the blame, and like the players are taking the blame as well, of course. But like, I don't know. I don't think these players are probably as good as I thought as well. But like, he's definitely not helping the case either. Like, we should not be down to 11th and struggling for our dear life. Like, we just got overtaken just by Wolves now today. Now we're just falling further and further. Now we can get overtaken by Bournemouth if we're, I don't know who we got next or so, but probably not looking good for us.
We have
In the league, it's
Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
They're going to beat us.
Crystal Palace.
We're going to give Roy Hodgson a stay of execution. They're going to beat us.
And they've got like their 3 best players out as well. So
Really?
Yep.
City after.
yeah, Gurhi, Eze, and Elisa are out.
At least they got hurt again. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's not a shock.
Yeah, let's end that dream. But yeah,
Hey,
Let's
leave me alone,
sign
okay? Leave me alone. I'm still mourning of the loss of.
Marcel,
Alicia
I
again.
like him too, but got to be realistic, man.
Yeah, no, I get it. But yeah, let's go on to more quotes. I have plenty more here. We're getting close to the end of these quotes. Let's see here. Pochettino. Oh wait, I read this one already. All right, next one. Pochettino says the team suffered the impact of conceding the first goal. Hard to manage the situation. Bro.
That's your job. That's your job. That's literally your job to manage that situation. What do you mean? What's your job? Fucking idiot.
Guys, this guy's ridiculous.
That's
And the
hilarious.
fact too.
This guy this is hilarious. Like, I know we're mad because we suck, but if you just take the words at face value and just kind of think about what's been going on, I think it's pretty funny, dude. I don't know, like Pochettino, like unironically, is very funny.
I'm glad you can find humor in it. This guy is a clown,
It is what it is.
But, and I agree. I agree with what GoAM is saying
It's a
here. That's
walking
why I should have stuck with my gut, man. I should have stuck with my gut because most managers go into that PSG team, and regardless of what happened with the board and all this butting of heads or whatever the fuck, you should still be able to get a result with Mbappe and Neymar. I understand he got Messi later on, or was that Messi's first season? I don't remember.
No, it was
History-
Messi's first season. No, not the first season he got there. The second season he had where he won the league. That was Messi's first season.
Okay.
His second,
But-
his second season, technically speaking.
Yeah, but even
First
then,
full season.
what GoAM said, he made Messi look average. Like, Messi was not as nearly as impactful in that PSG team like he was in Barcelona. And that's a player that you put him just about anywhere. Like, look at what he's. Well, okay, it's definitely a different league, right? But you see that major impact he has in Inter Miami. Like, he carries that team by himself pretty much. Oh, maybe I'm speaking.
better manager.
Don't you have to talk about that? Talk about the World Cup.
World Cup? Actually, yeah.
He has a better manager in both those teams. He has a better manager. You think I'm joking, bro? I'm being dead serious. Tata Martino's a better manager than Poch.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is just pathetic, man. It's just GoEM is right, and I should have stuck to my gut. Like, I can't see a world where a mediocre manager goes to PSG and can't just win the title with those players, Neymar, Mbappe.
I'm pretty
and
sure Marshall
Messi.
as well. I think Steve told us, or we saw from like forums when we were on Lewis's channel, that there are PSG fans who call him the worst manager they've ever had.
Wow.
I've seen a few PSG fans, yeah.
Or he's the worst manager they've ever had in the league or something.
in the league.
Like when it comes to like what he's done in the league.
He got 6 league goals out of Messi in that season.
Oh,
Deep
Jesus
back.
Christ.
6.
That's insane.
He played,
We got
he played
another.
Verratti as 10.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man! You're hurting me here.
He played in midfield 3. There was a game.
See, I'm not even surprised.
Someone's put. I can't remember who it was. Was it in the Sarcasm City group chat? But in a group chat, someone put a picture of a team that they played in the league, and the midfield 3, I'm fairly certain, was Verratti, Garner Gay, and Di Maria.
Di Maria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Pochettino, more comments here. To understand the fans is really important. I feel sorry. We are disappointed like them, but until the end, we need to fight together. Jesus Christ, you sound like a child.
Yeah,
cartoon.
he
Wait till the
feels
end.
he feels sorry picking up his paycheck at the end of the week, and whilst we have to suffer through this.
If you felt sorry, you'd resign, you fraud.
Exactly.
You felt sorry. Bunch of namby-pamby PR quotes. That's what this is.
Pochettino and Mudryk. Yes, now he's on the bench. Look, it's about him. It's about
The form.
the form during the season. If you keep your form, you are the best during every training session. Okay, sure. Pochettino and Mudryk.
It's also
Of course,
about
he
when
needs to improve. He was amazing quality and potential, but it's the team game. It's not tennis.
Here's
This
the thing.
prick talking about form and talking about a couple days ago, or yesterday, talking about meritocracy with his team. Fucking
That's
dickhead.
fine. You want to talk about form, Pochettino. How about the fact that Mudryk was starting to show some type of form? You fucking dropped him for no fucking reason. How about when Broha scored against Preston, whatever you want to say? It looked like the world had been lifted from his shoulders. What did you do for his confidence? You benched him against Middlesbrough in the first leg. You prick.
Like Gallagher hasn't had a good game since
Yeah, but
November,
Gallagher's
and he's still playing.
Yep.
Gallagher, Thiago Silva, Sterling, Chilwell, now he's back. All these guys, fucking dickhead. I swear. Honestly, I don't think this is my most. I think this is my most hated manager.
Oh no, he is.
And I go back pre-Roman, so this is my most hated manager. Yeah, I don't like. I've not disliked the manager more. I don't think. I'm trying to wrap my brain. Even like Frank, it was heartbreaking with Frank. Do you know what I mean? Because it's that Potter. I didn't really Potter. I didn't hate as much because I didn't know what to
Potter
expect.
doesn't evoke any sort of strong emotion at all. He's just
No,
there.
I just felt sorry for him more than anything. Like I just felt a bit.
It's a team. It's supposed to have emotion for you.
You don't really have strong opinions about people like Graham Potter because he just exists and is just very neutral and like.
Yeah, he didn't come. Yeah, but he didn't come across like he said some things that made you go what, but I don't think he said things over a few games, right? This guy said all this shit after one game, right? Do you know what I mean? It was like Potter built up over a number of games, and then you went fuck off.
And the thing,
You know what I mean?
and the thing about Potter was a lot of the stuff he said was all trying to like get the pressure on him. A lot of the time, it was taking stuff away from the players. It was taking the pressure off the players. Everything that Poch does puts pressure on the players. Everything that he says puts pressure on players. Like the way he just.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind putting the pressure on the players if I could see him doing his job. No, I want pressure on the players if it comes across that he's doing his job. If he's doing his job, you want pressure on the players. You want them to feel the pressure because you want to see who's a diamond and who's a turd. Do you know what I mean? That's what you want to see. Pressure creates diamonds, but he doesn't put pressure on these. He says it, but he doesn't with his mentality where he comes across. He doesn't put pressure on these players whatsoever. Like Liverpool quote the other day, some abbreviation, something about, oh, he's like, it's just one game or something.
Long time no see.
You know, it's just this rubbish.
We've
Big
conceded
up,
39
Alex.
goals.
We're worse defensively under him than Potter. We're worse. We're worse. He talks about taking a set. Scott said earlier. He talks about getting on. We need someone to take set pieces. You haven't coached us to defend against set pieces. Do that first before you get someone who can take them. We can't defend them.
Apparently, we don't have a set piece coach. No, I heard.
I can tell.
Like a
We
week
can
ago.
tell,
I think.
Chris. We can tell.
Yeah.
But they
So
didn't
I don't know
welcome
what. I don't know what happened there. Like, did Poch like ask for a set piece coach, or did he say like we don't need one, or?
He's got his
I don't know
own
what happened.
team. He's got his own coaches, Chris. He doesn't have
Yeah.
to ask them. He bought an
Oh yeah.
team. He's had, so he should have.
Yeah, he
one.
bought literally his whole team, I think.
Well, his set piece tactics is to go into the transfer market and get more hype. That's what it is.
By the way, we're still taller than Wolves, by the way. And we still
Alex,
do not actually send the ball into
know.
the box. We actually play in the corners. We actually not even hit from the corners directly. Most of the times we actually play them up. You see
I
what
don't
I'm
know,
saying?
Alex. I don't know if it's changed since like we got Casado back in the team and they signed Phillips, but there was a before the transfer window, before anyone, we had the same average height as West Ham. And he talks about set piece specialists. Last year, they didn't have a set piece specialist. They didn't have Ward-Prowse last season, and they were still.
I don't understand. We actually have like one of the 3 tallest centre backs.
We do.
And for
And
some
I
reason,
said this before, Alex. Our smallest centre back starts every game. Silver is our smallest centre. Well, if you include Gilchrist, he's not. But excluding Gilchrist, he's our smallest centre back, and he plays every game.
I'm actually like I watched the game again. I don't know why, but I do, and I want to know. I want to know. You see, I think like he thinks that we can play 3 at the back when we're attacking. And he thinks that we can defend as a 5 when we're defending. With Enzo is not fast. With Caicedo is definitely, for some reason, he's not in the shape. So, for example, if when we're attacking, we get cut in a transition as with Chilwell playing like the way Chilwell play, the way our fullbacks play, like we're playing 3 at the back. But for some reason, we get getting exposed in the same situation. That when we're getting beat up, when we're losing the ball in the midfield or not final third, but like between the final third, we don't get beat on the attack in the box. We get beat right outside the box. Does it make sense? Like when we try to get the ball through the middle into the box, we always lose the ball over there. Always. There's not a single one that we actually played the way we scored the goal from the situation through the middle, which is great. But every time we play, when we're trying to press, we're losing the ball with right there, right this conjunction. Funny.
Oh yeah. It's like a bit like Liverpool game as well, where we was losing the ball when we were trying to press out. Liverpool just kept beating us to it. So,
yeah,
I understand.
And I also told people, I said this before, Liverpool are one of the easiest teams to play through. Not play against, but play through. Arsenal showed that today. They're one of the easiest teams to play through. And we didn't get near them. We showed that earlier in the season we can play through them. Even with a crapper manager and as, leaky our team was and everything, we can play through them and we didn't get near them.
I'm blaming.
One of the situations Alex is talking about.
Yeah, well, that's not it. That's the stupidity of how we. First of all, you need to know that sometimes you don't have to make the pass into the player. Look, there's the 5 players around him. Okay, he gets the ball. By the way, Chilwell, this is what drives me nuts. Okay, you give pass to Caicedo. Why you keep going towards the middle?
I'm going to shoot off, fellas.
Alright, see you later.
Like the video. It's over 100 people here, so please like the video. And,
smash those
Where are
likes,
you
please.
going? You got nothing in your life. Where are you going? Baltimore
you want
lost.
me to embarrass you like I did on the stream the other day? We were Cowboys. You really want to do this? Yeah. Exactly. I'd be quiet if I were you.
At least I'm a subject to it. I was like, it's like Chelsea. I'm getting like immune to it. Like Cowboys did make playoffs since the 90s, man. Second round. They always win to the first.
Still America's team. So don't worry.
Are we analyzing why we concede goals? Is that what we're
I
doing?
don't think. No. I'm trying to. I don't know what you're analyzing. I was trying to say why we keep getting beaten the same way and the same system wise, because I keep saying people saying that it's individual. I keep saying that it's the defensive structure of the team. It's what gets us beat.
Oh, it's absolutely the defensive.
There's too much space. We're not compact enough.
Not like guys.
No. It's actually opposite, Oliver. We are too compact in the middle when we defend it, and the wings are open. Like
Are
if
you-
you,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Are
You
you,
know what I'm
talking
saying?
like Alex? Are you talking like teams and settled possession against us, or like the moments right before transition usually happens?
both. Technically, it's both. Even when we are not in the possession and they are
Oh, so I think they're
slowly.
kind of different things.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, but for example, what I'm saying is like I don't know if this is the game is to be exactly to say it, but when Other players, other teams always have a player wide open on the wide touch sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because our fullbacks are always tucked into the closer to the center backs.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when you have those wingers that run against us, they always have a run into it. Nobody gives the space to Mudryk, to any of our players to run into him because they defend it wide. It's a defensive structure. I don't understand why we keep doing it the same way. Not from today's game exactly, but I can tell you against against Liverpool.
Yeah,
we is always open on the wide, always.
We play too narrow.
Yeah, we're playing too compact in the middle.
We play too narrow, but we also don't close space collectively quickly enough.
That's what I was trying to say. Like we're narrow, but in terms of vertical compactness, it's not there because the spaces between Enzo and Caicedo are far too much.
We are one of the
that's
worst
in the position with the ball.
We are one of the worst teams in terms of like minimizing distances and moving vertically.
Yeah,
the pitch. We are one of the worst teams in the league. If you just recycle possession a few times, find your six, move the ball left to right, maybe play it back to your goalkeeper once or twice, you're eventually going to have somebody dropping into the space either side of Caicedo or Enzo and able to pick up the ball. And then once that happens, and once our people have to turn their hips and run back towards our own goal, there's all kinds of spaces all over the place. There's no discipline, there's no communication, and there's no consistency with it. I think you see it in how many cheap fouls we give away.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it again because we saw it at times today. Like, people get in areas of the pitch where they're not comfortable with. They find themselves in situations they didn't anticipate, and they panic. And that panic manifests in over-aggression just for the sake of being aggressive.
Yep.
We never look like we have control of defensive situations, right? We can all look at that Liverpool-Arsenal game, and we can meme Van Dijk for playing like a light-skinned dude, and we can meme Konate for getting sent off, right? But 9 times out of 10, the ball goes over their heads, they run into the channels, and they don't look like their world's about to fall apart. They look like they kind of have a plan or a way of dealing with the situation. Anytime anybody gets the drop on Enzo or Caicedo or drags Disasi out into the channels, or you have Colwell coming up against a wide player, we'll get them facing their own goal, or we'll get them running into areas where we don't really like. We kind of want them to be, but too many times these people just try to be over aggressive, or there's just lapses in judgment, and there's just stupid fouls or stupid decisions. Or like, there's so many times where Chilwell is practically holding Thiago Silva's hand, right? You're 5 yards away from him. You've done nothing to cut the distance in half between the ball and like the wide player.
Exactly.
It's switched right out there. Now we all have to shuffle across, and people get 2 or 3 seconds to run at you. Like, it's just too easy. It's all too easy.
I don't know. Like, when the kids usually do that when they learn it to play, it's I don't know how to say it in Russian. It's stada baranov. It's like the hurl of sheep follows the ball. You know, like this is when you don't.
It's like shadow play, but they literally just look at the ball and all go.
Exactly, they follow all, like not 1 or 2. It's but in defensive thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking about like when we get countered or attacked on, for some reason they're so not comfortable with each other or even trust each other, they try to do individual defending instead of system defending.
Yep.
Because if you think about it, that's I don't know if it's a second goal, but there's only one player in the box that can score against us. The cross comes in, and that's the only person that actually does it. How 4 defenders cannot make that from going in? How? Like, I think it was the second ball. I think it was the second one.
I'm looking at it right now. Give me a second.
You mean the Disasi own goal or the third goal we conceded, the Cunha's second one?
I don't know. It came from the right side. I think it came across from the right side, and there was only one person running into the box in front of 5 players, and he's the one that actually ended up scoring.
I mean, that was
I'll pull it
the
up in a
third goal.
minute.
That was
But
the second goal as well, I think, or both goals came from the right side, I think.
But it's too easy to play against us. Like everybody
It really is.
everybody acts like they're one pass away from the ball, when in reality, like you only have 2 or 3 people on the pitch at any given time who are genuinely one pass away from the ball and need to be in such an aggressive like help position. You've got guys who are 2, maybe 3 passes or a long switch, which is going to hang up in the air for 2.5 seconds and allow you to close that 15 yards of distance down. So really, like, people are in such over-aggressive situations to try and help out the person next to them that they're not handling their basic defensive responsibility. Like, I watched this on mute, for example, like in my bed this morning because it's a 6 a.m. kick. I could see what's going to happen the moment Neto went around Thiago Silva. And at no point does anybody look anywhere else than at the ball. The funny thing is, if Neto...
Oh, my apologies. There's 2 players in the box instead of 1.
The funny thing is, if Neto played the ball across the 6, they probably score as well. Because it's not like Gusto's anywhere close to Nori there.
This is embarrassing, man.
We
This
were
is embarrassing.
we were 5v3 in our own box, and they scored, and both their guys were open.
Also, Peter, on another note as well.
Down cross either. We literally did nothing.
Talking of defensive as well, Peter, I've been ever since we had that conversation on this on a stream on this channel about pressing. I've been watching us more and more. We press with no structure. Our pressing is horrible. It's diabolical.
No.
We press with absolutely no structure. Like,
as someone who does like low-level coaching, it's obvious.
Bro, I hadn't fully clocked it. Like, I knew it was bad. I hadn't clocked how bad it was.
Scott, this is some of the worst pressing I've seen Chelsea do for a sustained period in my life.
This is some of the worst pressing I've seen in football. It might not Chelsea.
It is so bad. It's so disorganized. We don't do good enough jobs of squeezing spaces. We will run all over the place, but at the same time manage to not put any pressure on anybody making decisions.
Bro, there's no pressure.
We're running at them, no pressure, but we're also not squeezing spaces, or none of our heads are on swivels to check to kind of shadow people checking into spaces to close out passing options. We're just doing nothing except running around and looking.
We don't cut passing lanes. We don't press as a group. It's not organized.
You see,
it's a mess.
Where Gallagher runs? I know it's a foul. It's where Gallagher runs. And you see what I'm saying? Like, he keeps running.
He's running.
Running.
Oh, fuck it.
You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, the Gusto's right beside him. He cannot catch up with him. He tries to cut the angle to catch up with him. I wish we had the wider angle. I want to see what Thiago Silva does, because if nobody's beside what's his name? You see, yeah. Somebody's running with Disasi.
At this point, though, at the point that Cunha gets to, about right there, right?
Yeah.
If you're Conor Gallagher,
you're supposed to sprint.
The great thing is, I think what's the dude's name? João Gomez, who wears number 8 for Wolves.
Yeah, João Gomez.
The great thing is, he's a midfielder. Gallagher's a midfielder. Anytime as a back line, you have to turn your hips and run into your own box. In terms of legislating against a cutback, that's on your midfield players to mark up their midfield players.
Yeah,
very obvious, right? Disasi, he probably should be coming
across as well.
Across right now, and Thiago Silva should shift too. It should be shifted systematically.
Yeah,
we're all supposed to shift it.
He tries to pull him down here, by the way. He tries to pull him down. Gallagher tries to pull him down. I don't know if he was on a yellow or what, but he tries to pull him down for no reason.
Don't think he was.
Even if he wasn't on yellow, that's no reason.
The thing is, Gallagher in that position, he's fine. What I don't like is Gusto's quicker than you. He's getting outpaced. You're starting from behind him. You're not going to make it to the ground. So now we're just running, right? Even if let's just say, right? Let's say Gusto there doesn't dive in. Just that doesn't happen, right? He tries to run with him. Cunha takes another dribble, and the same cutback is played from the other side of the pitch, and there's a person in a similar area who has another shot on goal.
Yeah, because Disasi is doing right at this moment. He actually needs to cover quicker the angles.
Yes.
If he sees Disasi is about to lose his player, he has to cut the angle to the goal. If forget if the penalty doesn't happen. Now you see, since that thing happened, Gallagher is not thinking that he needs to cut the runner in the mid for cutback. Do you see the system? Not aware. If Disasi goes for that ball, he cuts the angle to the goal. The only thing he has to do is cut back and pass it to somebody else.
Yes.
That's his only option. But look, they started at the same time, right? Gallagher and the other midfielder. They started from the same starting position.
Yeah.
For some reason, this number 8 is already available in the box. Gallagher is no man's land.
Actually, no. The Gomez started behind him. Gomez was closer to the Wolves goal than Gallagher. Look, when this whole play starts,
I know what you're saying, but I'm telling you, as a defensive awareness, defensive system, you need to learn the channels. There's the channels that offensive players learn the channels. You, as a defender, you learn those offensive channels to defend. Like Peter said, if he stays on his feet, the only option he has is shoot from the tight angle, which is nearly impossible to score. I don't care who. Or he has to cut back. Then the option cut back. Who's the option for the cutback? The player that was running with you from the beginning. But you already lost.
Do you know what this comes back to as well, to an extent, and it's what we've said the entire season. This is why Gallagher is not a pivot player, because defensively he has nowhere near the awareness in these positions. That's why he never played like this at West Brom, never played like this at Palace. There was always a guy behind him. Always. He was never in the pivot ever as the deepest player ever in his career until Poch until Tuchel came in, until Tuchel used him last season, and until this season when Poch keeps playing him there.
You see how they've got 2 red shirts in the box, and they've got like 2 fantastic options, right? Disasi doesn't identify the danger and slide over. Gallagher doesn't track his runner, right? Cunha's low-key one of the quickest players in the league, right? You can say Gusto should have done better. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. But like sometimes people get skinned.
Beat, yes.
Right? Disasi slides over. If Thiago Silva doesn't then slide over, that's on him.
Exactly.
You have to think, both center backs, you have to slide over an entire
Exactly.
It's really not complicated stuff. I just think whenever we get in these positions where we all of a sudden have to do any sort of recovery, we lose all common sense, all composure, all spatial awareness.
Panic.
All the eyes are at the ball. Nobody at any point in either of these clips scanned any of the space around them and made any sort of adjustment instead of just trying to haphazardly run towards the ball.
This is why we're conceding the goals. Like, technically, we're not even conceding the goals like there's a good shot on goal or anything. It's usually a scramble goals. The goals we concede from the scrabble because they're so unorganized. I swear, man, there's one of the worst defensive system I see ever play in the Chelsea.
But if you never, as a team, if you never sort out the ability to do basic, for center backs to step out into channels and people to slide over to cover for fullbacks, because let's be honest, this is football. You're going to get beat from time to time. There's pros at there's pros across the US that gets paid, right? We get it. But if you can't handle a fairly basic situation such as this, we're never going to get anywhere. We're never going to get anywhere far. This shouldn't be happening, let alone 4 or 5 times in a match.
Yeah, it did happen multiple times. That's another good point.
It happens every game.
Yeah.
But
we're not going to get results until we batten down the defense and actually get some form of system or something.
We've been asking for
organization.
A system
But Marshall, you're asking for
POCH to do this.
You're asking for something that doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And B, that would have been like, you would think that would be priority number one, right? Provide a platform, identify players who can fulfill the roles in the way that you're asking for them to like suit the team, have some sort of basic composure. Like these players, they're feeling the pressure. You can see everybody defends like it's everything seems like last ditch, everything seems rushed. There's no composure because there's no confidence. There's no confidence without results. There will continue to be no results without a collective composure and like change in approach and instruction to follow, right? We have a bunch of people who don't really know how to get themselves out of this. And we have a bunch of people who don't seem super keen on taking individual accountability. It's not like we're blessed with talent to the degree where we can just talent and figure this way out. But it's just nobody really knows what to do. Nobody knows how to change this. You can see bad habits creeping into people's games. It's like we watch the same game every week, just with different colors on the other end. We see similar chances conceded all the time. It's tiring. It's not going to get any better. There's not.
You guys reckon that the reason POCH claims to want these experienced players is to mostly cover his ass?
Yes.
In a sense.
But we do have experienced players. It's just
I know we do.
A lot of the young players we brought are just youth players, like 16-year-old, 18-year-olds. Not even in the squad.
Andrew said it earlier. Most of our experienced players this season have been our worst players. It's been the younger players that have actually been the guys playing well. Like you go and look at some of the guys. Like Silva has been terrible this season. Outside of a handful of games, he's been terrible. You look at Sterling. Again, outside a handful of games, he plays like he's 20, and especially recently, he is one of the players. By the way, he plays at least recently like he's given up. He looks like he's down tools. At least recently, he's playing like he's down tools. You look at the midfield.
Boys,
Gallagher's the most experienced midfielder.
I was here to say hello. Because no long time no. Good to hear from you, Peter, Oliver, Chris. Glad to hear from you. I'll see you guys later. Scott will always see you. Later.
Easy, man.
Good one, Alex.
Marshall, no successful and confident manager, like the experience thing is almost always just an excuse. The only scenario where I take the experience thing seriously is when certain portions of your team are settled and stable and fairly consistent and pretty good, and you are lacking in one department. Like kind of how we were with Tuchel, where we had a bunch of guys who either A, weren't really front players, or B, had never really shown to be clinical, consistent, like front players, right? So when you could see people were just wasteful, or people were naive, or there was just poor decision-making happening in the final third, you could see it. In that situation, you give the guy Gnabry, Coman, and Harry Kane, and you can say Tuchel's a Nazi, whatever, Bayern fans don't like him, but like this whole, he can't coach attacking players, blah, 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 stunts growth, all this stuff, like it just doesn't really seem to be true. You just upgraded the quality of the players available. Because let's be honest, most of attacking football, outside of basic patterns to recycle possession and like coaching circuits into players and just kind of like walking them through how and why you should make certain decisions, a lot of that is up to the players. But as far as the inability to coach a coherent approach week in and week out, and just as far as explaining why we look like a different shade of shit every week, that's got nothing to do with experience. The messaging isn't getting across, or the messaging is just completely dog shit and is getting across, and it just isn't good enough. But experience is a crutch to lean on when there's a gap in the instructional input, I would say.
Out of curiosity, Peter, because you're not on here that often, and I'm curious to pick your brain here. Who do you think, take into consideration the squad that we have right now and the staff, the squad in general, who do you think, based on what knowledge you have, is or at least what kind of manager Well, who do you think is as a manager that could be suited for this after Poch leaves? Because there's no way
Well-
Poch's staying in a job.
I wouldn't get a bunch of possession-based players and hand them to kind of a transitional P&P coach for number one. I wouldn't have done that. I don't think Enrique and Pochettino should ever be in the same sentence in terms of like coaches for a club. I think if you're in that situation, that's insanity. Personally, I think the next manager of this club needs to A, coach a team better out of possession, B, have some sort of input over personnel, because I don't actually think a lot of the players that we've invested heavily in are very suitable for the short or medium term. Like trying to fit all of the square pegs into a round hole and laying that at the feet of a coach, I think is a uniquely awkward position. But if you can coach stability and structure out of possession, if you can provide a basic platform for a lot of these young players to kind of simplify the game for them and reduce it less and like reduce the amount of individual quality kind of needed and maybe dumb it down a little bit. And if that means we play some sterile, boring football at times, I'm okay with that. I wasn't as upset under Sarri as a lot of people were. But you might have to kind of hold these guys' hands for a little bit until you can either sell them or hope that they improve. That's going to be something that happens. Like, ironically, I think Sarri would be a good next coach for us.
I agree.
I don't think it would happen. I don't think our matchgoers would tolerate it. But if you look at improving
Even better than what we have now.
games,
I could smoke Jose.
I think see, this is the thing. I think Jose is worse than keeping Poch.
You think?
Yes.
I don't know, because I don't think he had a horrible spell.
You guys are, and by that I mean just in terms of like general toxicity and like finger pointing and just complete instability. That
Yeah, he can be a bit toxic, but
a bit toxic.
well, I
Yeah, I was
think
gonna say a bit.
what's the worst can happen? Honestly, like last season. we
Chris,
finished
you want to know what the
points.
worst that can happen is?
We're not gonna
We
get
end up
relegated.
I'll let Pete cook. I'll get another beer. This is
You
great.
want to know the worst that can happen is, Chris? We have a lot of players on obscenely long money laundering type contracts, right?
Yeah.
Which in the current market don't really have enough resale value to justify like taking cut prices to ship them out. Mourinho pisses enough of those guys off. He's obviously going to be the next person out the door. Our fans are not going to tolerate that, whether like on the merit of what happened in this individual like instance would be justified or not. Our fans already don't like the people making the decisions, so we're going to side with that guy. Mourinho knows that. So we can basically grab the mic and be like, fuck these guys. They don't know what they're doing. They're idiots. This isn't the
WWE
Chelsea I
style.
grew up with, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And you're just piling pressure and uncertainty and unhappiness already like into a pressure cooker where players seem to be growing unhappy. Like, it's not worth the risk for this fairy tale ending that people kind of think might be there. Like, if our team was closer to actually competing for stuff, I wouldn't be as staunchly against this Mourinho idea. But I don't think
By the way,
the ceiling of our team is high enough. This is what I'm saying. Like, you guys are acting like I'm saying Poch is a better coach than Mourinho. I'm not saying that.
yeah, I was about to say.
It's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying Mourinho's obviously a better coach, but with everything that comes with employing Jose Mourinho, I don't think we're close enough to that glass ceiling, or that glass ceiling is necessarily high enough to compete with those around us to win any of this relevant shit in the short term. Let's be honest. You got 12, maybe 18 months with Mourinho of like good football, and then it gets insane. So to sign up for that now, where we have an even younger squad than 10 years ago, but a squad that we pumped hundreds of millions of pounds into with the low end for this long-term like growth and youth project and this sort of like Gucci Moneyball strategy, doesn't make any sense to turn to Jose Mourinho at this current moment in time. It makes no sense. Other than satisfying a nostalgia kink that people have, there's no point.
The nostalgia king.
do
Hey,
you-
listen,
do
porn
you
sells,
think-
man.
Do you think like Chelsea, the board, actually like maybe get him though? Because I kind of smell it a little bit, like Jose coming back to Chelsea. I would
you
think
know-
like what's the worst can happen, but like your point does obviously make sense. I'm not saying like you're not obviously not saying he's worse than Poch in coaching, but
No, he's a better
he-
coach than Poch.
yeah, he could be a bit toxic and all
Totally.
that. Like, and Jose, you have to follow him his way or no way, and
Yeah.
this like that. This
I
that,
mean-
that.
I'm taking into account who runs our club now, and I'm
Yeah.
taking into account how Jose Mourinho is because we know how he is. And I'm not saying like in this hypothetical, I don't think Jose would be wrong to feel aggrieved and be pissed off. It's just that's an avoidable situation that we don't need to get tangled in. We don't need to go there.
Yeah.
Again, if
But-
our team was better, if we had more like proven, performing, consistent players right now, where I felt like, maybe the lift of Jose can get these guys to do something, then yeah, sure, why not take the risk? I don't even think we're in a situation right now where taking that sort of risk is worth all of the damage we're inevitably going to have to sift through on the back end of this appointment.
But here's the thing, Chelsea Hollick. I don't disagree with you. I think Mourinho is a winner.
These
But the
guys just want to
problem
hear what
with-
they want to hear, man. Fair enough.
That's,
We don't need a
that's,
winner right now.
That's a part of it. But the thing is, like, we need someone to build a project. And if we bring in Mourinho for the sake of winning, we're back to square one, where we're just bleeding money for the sake of trying to appease the next manager. We're trying to scrap teams and get rid of Deadwood all over again, which, I mean, there are a few players we got to get rid of now. But it's just like it would go against the progress that we're trying to make. The problem with the project, I would say, is the decisions we're making. And I shouldn't say we're, the decisions the owners are making and appointing whoever they appoint, and the decisions that those appointees are making and the mistakes they're making. We're making way too many mistakes in this process. I think there's a way to do it where we can be successful, but some people would argue that we made too many decisions at once, which I could see that. And others would, argue like me that we just can't, they did it from a place of ignorance. They had trusted, they appointed their trust onto people that, like they should have done. They did exactly what they should have done. Hired people that know football to do the job. Unfortunately, they hired the wrong people, and those people are leading them the wrong way. Whether it's the decision of the owners to say to Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley, hey, listen, this club's not making money. We don't have a stadium. We need to attract youth in order to sell that youth to make money. So I want you to focus on youth. Maybe that's their call. Maybe. But regardless, it was the board's responsibility to give that ownership a short list of managers. And I'm sure there are some managers that can take this team, establish a system, and work with it. Despite what you think, being yes man and all this shit, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I think there are managers out there that can work with lesser tools and still get something out of this. Like, I'm not here to, I'm not taking this idea that Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham is getting everything he needs. I severely doubt that. I don't think Ange Postecoglou sits there and is like, I want Timo Werner. I don't know. Maybe he does, but I highly doubt it. But I don't think a manager like Ange Postecoglou is getting everything he needs at Tottenham with Daniel Levy as the owner. But he still is making it work, which is my problem with Poch. Poch isn't the guy that's making it work. But to go back to what
Pete made a good point earlier when he just talking about the manager. I don't know who deserves blame for this, whether it's the owners, the directors, but you can't come up with a 5-man shortlist that includes Nagelsmann, Enrique, Poch, Postecoglou, and company. That list shouldn't exist. That's your list. You've got a guy. You've got a guy coming from the old Barcelona style of play. You've got a Bielsa, not descendant, like a pupil. That's the word of Bielsa's. You've got a pupil of Guardiola's. You've got wherever Ange came from, whatever his background is in terms of like coaching, who he learned from, and you've got a guy.
Football, man.
You've got a pupil of the German style of play. They don't link in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, the real issue is how those 5 names ended up on a list together.
Yeah.
That's the real problem, right? So, again, launch Poch into the sun. I don't care. Wipe him off the face of the planet. I don't care, right? This isn't about him, right? Just understand, guys, when the dopamine of sacking this manager wears off, we're forced with the reality of these guys in charge probably appointing another one. There's no guarantee we won't be back in a similar situation in 12 to 18 months having similar conversations about where we go next. We need to stop whatever thought process arrives at a 5-man shortlist like that. That needs to be addressed first and foremost before any more critical decisions are made. Because again, guys, whether POCH goes now and you feel better, or whether he goes when the final whistle goes on the 19th of May and the season's over, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that much. It really doesn't. Okay, the important thing is whatever we do next needs to be better. And I said this last time, and it's not better. Funnily enough, it's slightly worse, which I thought was impossible, but I was clearly fucking wrong. So, like, hey guys, we have an issue. We keep trying the same crazy shit, and we keep ending up here for one reason or another. Are we going to address the crazy shit, or are we just going to think third time's the charm? I don't know. But we'll see. Fuck it.
Building off of that too, though, I see a world where these owners are mad enough. Actually, okay, you know what? I'm just going to place my bet right here. Okay. 20 schmeckles on this, okay? I can see the managers. I can see the managers or the owners. If POCH loses the Carabao Cup, he gets sacked, and we entertain Jose Mourinho for PR.
I take you on your 20 schmeckles.
I would take you up on that because I think there's no way they hired Jose.
Okay, 20 schmeckles it is.
I think there's no way they hired Jose.
I want that
20 schmeckles.
I wonder where you got that from, huh?
I said that I can see this happening. If POCH loses the Carabao Cup, 20 schmeckles that they entertain hiring Jose Mourinho.
But that's bullshit because the only reason you would bring in Jose Mourinho is to win that Carabao Cup.
Or for PR. Because the fan base is already turning
I
on
reckon
you.
PR, yeah.
Yeah, but again,
there's no way.
Marshall, if you want the good PR, bringing in Jose before the cup final would make sense. That's when that's
smart,
the
though.
PR.
It would make sense. Exactly. That's the problem.
There's no way you can be concerned about PR long term, and the solution can be bringing in Jose Mourinho to this team right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to empower somebody who's going to grab the mic and call you a fucking idiot because you think it's going to make you feel better, or it's going to make you look better, that goodwill only lasts as long as the good results last.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not then going to turn around in the summer and rip apart a third of this team and spend hundreds of millions more to bring Jose the tools that he feels he needs to get results in the short term, then it's not even worth it. Would I be prioritizing some sort of short-term like Jose stint at this point if I were them, factoring in how much money I spent? No. But would I have built it like this in the first place? Also, no.
Also, Marshall, what you're forgetting with that is what is all that PR going to do for you when in 3 years you have to sack Mourinho because of where we are as a team? Because that will happen, because that happens at every club he's
Marshall, unless you mean like Jose interim until the end of the season.
I am thinking about that low key.
I would take that though.
There's no way.
That's depending if Jose would do it. Jose lives in London, so he.
There's no way Jose takes an interim stint, guys. Be serious.
Listen, as much as he loves the club, apparently he's not going to do that. He won't.
Yeah,
I feel like it would be bad for his reputation. He'd be insulted.
No, it's not even that. There's no that. Jose's Jose at the end of the day. He still has that name. It's like he'll get another permanent job. Why would he? There's no reason for him to take an interim job.
Well,
How can you?
This isn't just a Chelsea thing. This is in general. There is absolutely no reason for him to take a interim job anywhere.
Exactly.
Doesn't benefit him.
But like, even if you want to just look at it, right? How could we strong arm a manager with the name of Mourinho into taking this interim role right now?
Happen.
Right? There's no way. Like, if they call Jose, he's hanging up the phone. He's contacting George Mendes. George Mendes is calling Todd Bowley and saying, "Don't even call me back if you're not willing to commit to X, Y, and Z."
I can see that.
Guys, they approached Jose before.
Did they?
They are
You know,
not doing it, man.
They when they bought the summer, when they bought the club, there was rumors that they had like spoken to Jose and stuff, or Jose
I think-
had
I think-
offered his service to Chelsea.
I think, as I remember it,
but like there were rumors.
no, Prime. As I remember it, it was more from Jose's side because he was never going to work with Roman again. But the new ownership would have offered him an opportunity
Yeah.
to get back in.
Sure,
it was
Oliver,
more from his
as
side
we-
than the.
Yeah, but
Uh,
Oliver, as we
club.
saw a few months later, Tuchel got sacked, and then stuff came out that they'd been looking at Potter since the summer when we were trying to sign Cucurella. So maybe they were actually looking at Jose as an option to replace Tuchel as well.
Yeah, perhaps.
I just think there's no way they appoint Jose right now.
What
There's
if
no way.
Pete? What if it's also like again these owners keep making mistake after mistake. What if it? Because logically we know Jose would be so toxic. He would want his demands and all this and that and that. What if they? I'm entertaining a hypothetical here, right? What if they decide, okay, let's get Jose. The fans will be happy. They love Jose. He's been here twice. Let's give him a long stint. But they don't understand that when Jose doesn't get what Jose wants, because he's not a yes man, whatever, that he will be toxic. He will purposely play players to prove a point that these guys are shit.
You're asking me what if they don't know what they're getting themselves into?
Yeah, pretty much.
Then we're fucked.
Yeah,
That's the short answer. Like, maybe not fucked in the first 12 months, but like, I don't know. Like, I guess if they're just that blind or that short-termist,
They can't be.
yeah, like
They won't
bordering
because
on just complete insanity and like negligence at that point.
I mean, we say they can't. They brought back Frank Lampard as the interim. So
Again, like, so this
Wow.
is,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Frank was interim.
Yeah.
Give him the job.
He'd never go get that job after
look,
that.
if
either.
they have some sort of dirt on Jose Mourinho to convince him to take an interim stint and leave in the summer, then sure, go ahead. I just think there's no chance.
If he actually won the Carabao Cup, they probably want to hire him as well. So
Scott said
He
it.
just
a couple
wait,
months
but
ago.
Chelsea Hall, like
He
he
did this
just
at
did that with Roma.
He did this at Roma.
He's the same. He's not changed really.
No,
He's-
guys. Even if Jose went through some amazing character arc, why would any self-respecting elite or former elite coach not look at Todd Bowley and point and laugh at him in the face? I put my finger right in his stupid fucking face and belly laugh at him. Are you kidding me? Look at how Chelsea have been under these guys. How can any elite or established football mind come in and take these guys serious? Of course, Jose would come in and dig these guys out the moment things went sideways. Of course he would. I would be disappointed if he didn't, because I would do it if I was him. I get it. I don't think any manager grabbing the mic and saying "fuck these niggas" is wrong. I don't think it's wrong. I get it. I understand it. It's just these guys are not going to put themselves in a situation where that's going to happen. They're not
Jose
gonna
would come
hire
into
a
that office
fucking
like this.
personality like that. This is part of the reason they put out that press release and like push rumors of Tuchel doing drugs to justify getting rid of Tuchel. Once Tuchel was like, actually, I'm not going to pick up the phone. Fuck you. They're like, all right, fuck you. They got hurt about it. And our fans were like, oh, Tuchel didn't want to work with these guys. And at no point did anybody consider, hey, what if these guys are just fucking idiots? And like we're slowly getting there. But it's just like we already kind of don't like Poch. So we're gonna kind of look past the what if these guys are idiots and be like, fuck this fat bitch, which like I kind of understand. I get it. I don't really like Poch either. But those same questions still exist.
Just for another moment of shits and giggles, I gotta pull this one up. Hey guys, these are upcoming fixtures.
0 point. Zero.
We get lost against Villa. Palace we probably.
That's a lot of
maybe
away
get a draw.
games. Oh my god.
Oh,
0
Man
points.
City.
Yeah, we didn't have an away. We don't have a home game for a month.
Can we?
Poch that was Poch's last home game today. That's crazy.
Listen, we're not winning a game until we play Brentford.
I don't think we're beating Brentford.
If
Bro. I don't think we. Bro, I
Every
didn't.
US player gets Brentford before.
Come on, come on. Chelsea at least get one win. Like, come on, have some
I'm trying
respect.
I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be positive.
Like you said,
We're not winning a
Brentford.
game. That's
Well, on a serious note, I don't think we get a win till Burnley. That's at the end of March. That's the 30th of March.
I'll be positive. We're winning on Wednesday.
No, I don't see it, but it could happen. You never know, Chelsea.
We're winning on Wednesday.
Actually-
We're winning on Wednesday. The brief to the players is if you win, he goes, and then they're gonna play the game of their lives.
Peter coming out with those Hollywood implants with that chest, man. Jesus. I'm not optimistic at all.
I've seen our games, by the way. I've seen our games till the end of the season, and I genuinely, if Poch stays, only see us winning 2.
Really?
That
Yep.
is horrendous.
The funny thing is, Chris says this like he can't remember how last season went.
No.
Chris, let me go through the games we play between now and the end of the season. Villa in the cup,
we
we've
beat
lost.
Brighton this season,
Palace,
and we beat Sheffield.
Draw at best. City 8-0. Tottenham lose. Final, lose. Bro, it's probably going to be 8-0. Let's be serious. Hang on. We conceded 8 in a week.
We conceded 4 to City earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, but
Cool.
we scored. Okay.
Final, we're losing that. Brentford away, behave. Newcastle, no. Arsenal, no. Burnley, I think we'll beat. United, no. They're going to come to the bridge, stink it
We'll
out,
beat
score on the counter attack. Sheffield United, yep. Everton, no. Their defense is better than us. Brighton, no. Villa, no. West Ham, no. Forest, no. Bournemouth, maybe.
Wait, why no to not on the 5?
Hey, Chris, remember
we
what
lost
happened
to them
last
this
time we
season,
played
Chris.
Nottingham
You know
Forest?
we lost to them.
There's
this
no-
season.
So is that how?
And now they've got Nuno Espirito Santo. They're just going to
And we're playing them away from home.
I think we'd be Brighton as well, man. Have some respect from Chelsea, man.
We're playing them away from home as well.
Hey, Chris, when was the last time we won at Brighton?
Didn't we beat him this season in a cup?
Last time we won at Brighton, that was 2019, I think, or 2020.
Oh my days, is that
was
real?
That was the opening game of 2020, 2021. Was the last time we won there.
Well, I thought we beat Brighton at home at the cup game. Was that all right?
I said at Brighton, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, at Brighton.
Yeah, last time we won there was the first game of the UCL season.
No, was that there or was that the bridge? Okay. Oh, no, that was there. That was there. My bad.
Chris, do you want to know our away record this season?
If we only get 2 wins, Scott, then we'll end up on 37 points this season, you're saying?
Yes. Do you want to know our away record?
That was your prediction.
We could have a couple of draws in that as well.
If Poch stays, yeah.
Our away record
Man
is
City's
4
gonna
wins,
draw.
1 draw, 6 losses. We've lost double the amount of games away from home that we have at home.
Yeah. That's why I mean, like, I don't know what. There's no point. I'm not a big fan of like you sacking managers at this point, but like you have to sack Poch as well. Like he's no different to what.
Do we have to?
Mauricio, I can't. He's no difference to Potter. He's no difference.
He's
We'll go
worse.
ahead the same way.
Guys,
Well,
hold
he may
on.
be worse. but
He's
I'm not saying
worse. Considering the resources he had, Potter had a deflated squad that was like half them wanted to leave. This is completely different.
Hold on,
I
guys.
know.
Hold on. Poch is a Nazi. I get it. I co-sign. But do we really have to sack him right now?
Why not?
Because, I mean, look, the way I see it, and I could be wrong. I admit I don't know everything. I could be wrong. I absolutely acknowledge that. But the way I see it is the moment these guys' next guy becomes available, or so they think, then they're all full steam ahead throwing current guy under the bus. The reason we haven't seen that is they haven't identified next guy and gone after him. So until they can do that, getting rid of Poch to make us feel better for 5 minutes, not really, like, I don't know. Like, we might just have to firm it. Like, there's also the reality that our next coach is coaching the Euros. So they're just going to drag this to the end of the season. Like,
Yeah,
that could
but
be.
but Peter, the reason why I don't buy into that is because Potter didn't become available. We paid out his contract.
Brother, he was at Brighton. He was always available. What do you mean?
But like any but any manager can be available.
Yeah, if they work at fucking Brighton, but not like if they work at like a real team.
Yeah, but if you look at, for example,
Okay.
you say international. If you look at Spalletti at Italy, like if you agree a contract with him after the Euros, and you announce that now, that not help lift the mood a bit?
I mean, it could. The reason we kind of did that in 2016 was because we had an interim coach already. If they wanted to line up an interim to then do that, then yeah, I think that makes sense. Like if Poch is just going to be leaving a presser and be reading and be like walking down the hallway and see on the news that Spalletti's going to take his job, then like that would be kind of hilariously awkward, right?
Oh, I'd actually quite love that.
No, I wouldn't mind.
I think that there are more possibilities than people think. I mean, at the end of the day, if Aston Villa can get Unai Emery out of Villarreal when they're 15th in the league, battling relegation under Gerrard, I think we can certainly do something.
But again, like guys, Villarreal are not some like financially top 5 or 6 club in Spain or have like this like crazy history or like clout or pull.
I mean, I'm talking more in terms of the quality of the manager more than the club.
But where you're pulling the manager from absolutely matters of being able to do these things.
I guess so, yeah.
Like if Potter was at, let's say like Tottenham, that shit doesn't go down like that. But like, let's be honest, Brighton are fucking Brighton. Like if we really wanted Super Saiyan looking De Zerbi, we could go get him. It wouldn't be that hard. We can go get him whenever we want. Pretty much. If we just paid over the odds and wanted to make it happen, we could connect the dots.
He's actually got a buy clause in the summer.
Bro, if they said, hey, we'll give you this plus 5 mil if we take them right now, they're fucking doing it, man. Like, these motherfuckers just want our money. It is what it is. But, like, it's just, the reason I don't think there's been any movement is because they don't really know in terms of, like, who is next. Once that's done, I think all of this moves pretty quick. Like I said, I think they made a decision that Poch wasn't going to continue beyond the summer back in like November. I think this was made back then. I don't think any of this recent stuff is really swaying decision makers over his long-term future. It's been when and not if for months. Now it seems like it could be very soon. Like, just imagine, right? We lose on Wednesday, which I said we'll win, but like part of me was bullshitting. I have no idea. We lose on Wednesday. We're out of 1 cup. We like don't beat Palace for whatever reason, even though they're like actively sabotaging their own manager. I think after that we have the cup final.
Yes.
Or am I missing a week? I don't even know.
No, we have the cup final after.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know, man. This could get crazy. This could get.
I don't want to sacrifice a
Oh,
trophy.
no, City after that. Okay, so that's an.
Oh no, shit. Sorry, yeah, no. Sorry, excuse me. We've got apologies. So we've got Palace, then City, then Tottenham, and then the final.
No, the Tottenham game's postponed. The final.
But
okay.
announced, yeah.
Villa Palace City final. Yeah, I don't know. This could.
Yeah,
but
we got.
Oh my god, we've got to play City away before we have to play that final. Oh my god,
that's gonna be good for morale.
My god,
Peter, what you're saying though, right? I don't want to sacrifice a trophy.
That's fine, but like, that's you, brother.
That's true.
That's you.
The ownership want a chance to come out of this being like, see, we appointed the right manager. He won us a trophy. He won us that shiny Carabao Cup.
Guys, you know how that sounds insane because like we're not gonna win, but like in their mind, if he wins, that's the ultimate get out of jail free card.
Yo, for real, it really is.
We got Europe.
Like, if they sack him, say now, bring in an interim, and they win the Carabao Cup, that helps. Like for a lot of fans, the last 2 seasons is forgiven, and it would help them start to love the owners again. In the first place.
Oh, so winning the Carabao Cup? You think?
Well, but you know the trophy feeling. You know what I mean? Winning something and looking.
It's nice. It's nice in the moment.
You know what I mean?
Look, I don't think it changes much, like long term. But in a way, if they left Pochettino in charge and he frauded that trophy, I think that would actually do more damage for us than good.
Yeah, because he would stay.
No, not only that. Like, I don't want anything that could potentially justify their just atrocious way of operation.
Oh, yeah, that's also fair. Yeah.
Like if it's gonna burn, it needs to all burn down, all of it. There needs
would
to be
definitely
no
validate them.
salvaging anything. We need to just start getting destroyed and humiliated.
Already happening, isn't it? Like,
No, like it needs to be bad.
Hey.
Like we need to take like a 3-1 on Wednesday, 0-0 at Palace, 5-0 at City, 3-0 at Wembley kind of thing. Where it just gets uncontrollably hilarious.
I think we're score against City, but we're definitely conceding a lot.
I don't even know why you think that. I don't know.
I guarantee. No, I not guarantee.
Chris,
but
it's going to be 8-0.
Chris,
no, we
Chris,
definitely scoring a goal.
Chris,
One goal.
wow.
Chris,
No,
where
but
are
I'm
you
not-
coming from with this?
Because Chelsea do actually score goals. It's just our defense is really bad. Like, and our
Yeah, but,
midfield
like,
is.
why did you just sit here so confidently and say we're scoring there?
I'm we're scoring like one goal, but I agree with the conceding
Oh, like
part.
one goal. We're gonna concede like 17.
I know.
17.
I know.
Just,
You know what? Yeah,
remember,
no.
when we get
This is
smacked
why.
by City and as
Losing
one goal,
8-1,
I'm gonna be right.
Losing 8-1 is better than losing 8-0. I get it.
No. I'm not saying.
I really don't think it
No,
matters.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying we're definitely scoring one goal.
Chris, I don't think we are though.
I don't know where you're getting this
clear.
confidence. I don't think we are.
Yeah,
bro.
like, Chris, where did you come from?
Wait. It's not confidence. I'm saying we're gonna win, not win, but like, oh, we're gonna do well. Like, no, we're gonna do shit that game. We're just gonna. Cole Palmer's just gonna get one of those goals or something, or we win a penalty, or it's gonna be something like that.
I hate to
And
break
we're
it to you,
Still
but
is gonna
we ain't-
turn up.
We ain't getting close to City.
Chris, we need to get out of our own half first. Did you not see us against Liverpool?
We scored 4 against City this year. Like
Without KDB and without Rodri? Question mark?
Yeah,
No, they had Rodri.
No.
Okay, they had
Last
Rodri,
time
yeah.
I checked, Marshall, I don't think KDB defends. But
Chris.
He
let's
scores
just be
goals and he creates chances, though.
he scores goals.
Chris,
and that's
Chris,
when we
Chris.
get smacked.
Chris, it's time Chelsea fans accepted what happened in that game. City were poor. City were poor in that game.
They were poor. Oh, okay.
Yes.
City were poor in that game. We're not going to face a poor
They had
City
shit
again.
lost
City,
that game.
And to concede 4, we were poor too.
City were about to
Well,
enter.
that's Chelsea.
City are about to enter momentum of title-winning form. They're not going to like. Chris, stop this, bro.
Guys, we're gonna get baptized. Like I don't.
Wait.
I don't
Their
even
defense
know.
this season ain't been that great. Like,
and-
I'm
And look at us.
I feel.
I'm not saying we're not going to concede. We're going to concede a
this is
shit
even a
ton.
conversation. I don't
Hang
even know.
on.
Okay, Chris, none of what we're saying is down to City.
Like,
There
they
is not a
conceded
single
to
thing about what we're
Burnley,
saying that's down to City.
Chris,
We can't
our
build
attack
up
is
like
not
this.
immaculate, by the way.
I-
Our attack is not perfect.
It's not perfect, I know. We only got like I really rate Cole
We
Palmer.
are.
Chris really believes
Chris,
in
it's very
Nicholas
simple. It's very
Jackson.
simple. We are not good.
Chris, what if Cole Palmer has one of those games where he has a stinker like Middlesbrough or Villa?
I think we're just gonna get one goal from somewhere.
Chris,
But
this is actually very simple. We are not good, and
yeah, I
they
know.
are
I agree.
3-time champions and current like treble holders. It's
Yeah.
actually very simple math.
But
Like,
I look at City's defense this season. It's awful. It's actually awful.
Chris.
Is it
Like
though,
even
Chris?
against Burnley, they conceded. Yeah, like we can't score
Is
against
that
City.
true? Like, is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
true
No,
that
this is
the
like one of the
defense
worst City's defense this season. I think. Like I'm pretty sure conceding wise.
I mean, I don't think he's wrong
Chris,
about this is the
Chris,
worst City defense in a while, but it's still
Chris,
not
they
good enough to
conceded
win.
24 goals.
At this point in the stage,
Yeah, they conceded 24 goals this
They've
season.
conceded the second. They've conceded
In
the
the Premier
second
League,
least
right?
amount of goals in
Yeah.
the season.
They have the second.
I
They have the
can't-
second.
like wait, so who's first then?
They have the third best defense in the league
Liverpool's-
behind Arsenal and
Well,
Liverpool.
I think
I
Liverpool
was
might
going
be
to say, yeah,
first.
they like Arsenal and Liverpool are joint on 22nd. They have 24. They're next.
I see City concede a lot of games. Like they conceded
I
against
think
like
Chris was saying that
Newcastle,
compared to City last
Burnley,
season.
like Everton, like they don't concede like even Crystal Palace where they drew 2-2, like that's 2-2. Like Luton they conceded 2 as well. Like they conceded to Aston Villa, they conceded 3 against.
Chris,
You know, we've conceded against all those teams as well.
I'm not arguing our conceding. We're conceding a shit ton that day. We're
Chris,
conceding. we might
Chris,
you
how
are
much money do you
comparing.
feel
Hold on.
confident losing?
I'm not.
Chris, you are comparing first half of the season City against second half of the season City.
How confident do you feel? I bet you.
Yeah, but they still conceded to Burnley recently, and
Where's your chest at, Chris?
and Newcastle 2 goals as
Chris,
well.
I
By
bet
the
you
way.
£100 we don't score against City.
No, I'm not taking the bets on Chelsea now. Fuck that.
All right. You were confident, so what happened?
No, but like okay, I'm not like I'm not gonna be 100% right, and yeah, like I'm not good.
No, but
You
you
think
were
I'm
confident
gonna?
like 10 seconds ago. I'm confused. What happened, Chris? Back the team. You think we're gonna score?
I'm not backing
Support the boys.
Chelsea. I know Chelsea is shit this season.
Let's
I'm
have
not-
it right.
No,
you
not
guys,
Chris.
you
Support
guys,
the
you
boys.
guys
We're
went
gonna
on me
score
like
somehow.
it's like unheard of. Like City's gonna concede the goal. I see City concede a lot this season.
Then
but...
bet the £100. No big deal.
No, because it can happen, man. We might not score. And
I don't. That's
my
what I
last-
don't understand. You're confident in putting money on the table. This is how I know you don't really believe.
Like
it.
you'd
You
be
just tell
making me, yeah. We'd be like 6-0 down. You'd be begging for me, like on like watch Chelsea, please Chelsea score one goal. Like I'm not gonna be doing that.
Chris, support the boys. You were confident until money got put on the table.
I'm not supporting Chelsea like this. No.
Hey, man, I'm just saying we're not.
I'm not gonna be Fatted. Like Fatted gets sucked into all these like bets, and yeah, he loses a shit ton.
Chris,
I've seen it.
Chris, it's a very simple bet. I'm not saying we're gonna win or we're not gonna lose 10-1. I'm just saying we're not gonna score, and you're saying
10-1.
Wait, Chris, you can't unmock the score because at least he's willing to put his money where his mouth is.
I'm not mocking him. Like, I literally just said I think we'll score
Hey, I
one
said
goal.
20 schmeckles on Jose.
Look, guys. Chris is saying this, but he doesn't say it confidently enough to put money behind it.
Wait,
I don't
hang
know if
on.
it's really
I'm not
fair.
even like 100% confident. Yeah, I agree. I'm not 100% confident.
No,
but
it's
like,
obvious.
Bring
'cause
in
I offered
Jose.
100. Says, what if I lower it to £50?
even
Bring
so,
me
I
in
wouldn't.
the
Even,
prefer not to speak merchant.
I don't even bet on football like that.
You wouldn't bet for your team to score that you think is going to score?
No. Well, yeah, I do.
I don't get it.
Peter, what you're forgetting is £50 goes a long way in Wales.
Yeah.
Then he should be confident he's going to win £50 and go a long way. I'm confused.
No,
Chris,
I know. Yeah.
Chris, you were giving us paragraphs about how Cole Palmer is going to score somehow.
No, like we could get a goal somehow.
Then put money behind it then,
That's how long
brother.
we've gone on to me just saying Chelsea got to score one goal against City. It's just gone on this long, but I already know we're gonna get smacked up by City. I just thought we're never gonna score a goal. If we score a goal, we don't.
If you score a goal, then you win £50.
That's how bad. That's how bad Chelsea.
I don't even understand the point of bringing this up, Chris. Like, as if
No,
scoring a
no,
goal
it
is going to
was-
change the
I
result of the game. We're still
wasn't-
going to
no.
lose.
No. You guys do attack me for it.
I'm just trying to
That's
see how
why-
confident Chris is in these nonsensical statements.
This is how badly Chelsea.
You know
fallen
what?
As well.
We're going to affect the title race. That one goal difference is going to be the difference between
I'm not going
Liverpool
to fucking matter, man. They're going to win by like
City.
1 point or some shit.
And now I'm pissed off because I predicted Liverpool to win the league and they just
You
lost
get
to
fucked.
Arsenal.
You get fucked, Marshall.
Yeah, hold on.
Fuck you. I'm so annoyed by that. When I was told about that, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Oh, god
told you.
damn it.
You
Told
bet
me I
against
should have
City.
stuck with
You're an
Arsenal.
idiot. You're an idiot. You bet against City.
yeah, you're dumb.
Oh my god. Hey, listen, Arsenal beat City this season.
That's
so
great.
who knows?
That's
They can do it again.
fantastic. That is adorable.
Listen,
That is
Marshall,
very-
what did I
Fucking
tell
rice
you,
tax.
Marshall?
very inspiring.
Marshall,
That's
what did I
very
tell you?
nice
in
told.
the-
sweet of them.
Your Prince
That's-
Charming is not going to save you from the tower, Marshall. Disney movies are not real. Come on, it's not.
Listen, man.
It's not.
Look, man.
You never know. Just gotta
Marshall, when you
believe.
turn on the TV tomorrow at 3 p.m. and you see Holland score at approximately 3:05 and wheel away to the away fans so they leapfrog Arsenal, just remember this conversation that we had. Just remember, no problem.
I will.
Oh
That
my.
being said,
If you looked at
That'd be-
that table and said, "Yeah, City are not winning," I question what you guys watch.
hey man,
I don't know. Like
Dude.
we literally
I-
lost it last year.
I was going in the right direction up until KDB came back, and then things decided to.
Oh,
Ah,
what did
shit.
I told you this.
What
And we
did you
told you
think
this.
he
And
was-
you ignored it.
Did you think KDB was Lavia? Like he's gonna come back.
Oh.
Oh man. He hit
Did you
the
think
ground
that
running for
he
sure.
was loud? Yeah.
KDB was
Like KDB's a real player.
Katie
who
Lavia,
actually
man.
runs around.
Oh my days! Wow.
You just gotta hold that.
I get it. We
Have to
want
hold
City to lose because it would be entertaining. I understand it, guys. I fucking
That is
get it.
true.
But the moment Arsenal and Liverpool couldn't get more than like 3 or 4 points ahead, I'm like, oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
We
Like
dropped the ball today.
I'm gonna bet on City until they lose, and eventually one day I'll be wrong, and I'll hold my hands up and say I was wrong this time. but I think that's
You
a
know-
better strategy than just betting on everybody to beat City until it actually happens.
Oh my days.
I
Well,
literally forgot about that guy.
yeah, ladies and gents, I think with all that being said, it's time to wrap it up. Listen, started off pissed off, but now we just gotta laugh it off. We're at the end of the stream, and it's just like, you know, let's just enjoy the rest of our evening, the rest of Jesus Christ, Oliver, the rest of tomorrow morning. Let's not let Chelsea ruin the weekend. But
It's too
that
late.
being
But
said,
it is what it is.
that being said, if you haven't done so already, smash up the like buttons. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that bell notification so you're notified whenever we go live. If you also haven't done so already, check out the links in the description below. And if you also haven't done so, well, you can't do it yet, but you can do it later. Leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on everything that happened today. Are you POCH out yet? You probably are, but if you're POCH in, I'm actually interested to see. I know. If you're POCH in, I actually would be curious to see why. But
No, we don't
let
wanna
us know in
hear
the comments down
Yeah,
below.
we know something.
You guys don't even read the comments. I read the comments.
We hope you enjoy your intelligence being insulted on a weekly
Okay,
basis.
Scott reads the comments.
If,
But,
if you're POCH in,
Mhm.
go lose some weight.
Seek help.
Seek help. Seek medical help. BetterHelp.com.
No,
Not a
no,
sponsor.
Anyone
on
before the
Wednesday.
second half? Scott, we
Winning on
noticed
Wednesday,
on Moses'
2-1.
channel when Pochettino first stood up and he was fixing his belt.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I,
I mean,
Nah.
stress eating. That's why. Had to adjust that belt. But ladies and gents, we're gonna be rating. Who are we rating? I think we're rating Sarcasm City. I'll check in a second, but I'm pretty sure we're rating
fuck
Sarcasm
them.
City. So, what do you mean?
What do you mean what I mean? I thought it was obvious.
Ah, I love it.
Well,
But yeah, go check.
fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, ladies and gents, go say what's up to Flawless. Copy and paste that raid message. Let them know where you're coming from. I may or may not be there in a moment. I don't know. I don't know if he's talking, but we'll see. But yeah, check out the channel. Be sure to support as well and support us here as well. And big up to our members. If you haven't done so already, check out the memberships. 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And we just got unlocked the new "You Must Suffer" emoji with Antonio Conte right there. So enjoy that. But anyone who is a proper casual and higher, they get shout outs at the end of every show. And that's going to go out to OG Triple Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, A. Solomon, and Hassan Nawaz. So big up to you guys. Appreciate all the support. And appreciate the support of everyone else who's also a member. We'll be back here based on the poll, which I did poll you guys if you wanted to do the casually call-in show tomorrow, Tuesday or Saturday. And most of you said Monday. So tomorrow, we'll be back here with a call-in show because Wednesday is the game, and we're going to be doing the match review then. But we'll be back tomorrow with a call-in show, probably talking about this more, and I want to hear what people in
Marshall,
the chat
can you
have to
bring
say.
up Teal Austin's comment to end the stream?
Christ, where? Where's that?
yeah, I'm actually gonna be off there anyway. Like it's getting
I don't
quite
know.
late.
No,
that
Chris,
is
don't go anywhere. Don't
prime.
go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Why? What's
Ooh,
happening?
Austin? How far in the chat are you?
It's like on the first page, bottom.
First page.
1247.
bottom, What?
1247. Oh, you're in
1246.
there.
Wait, is it about me or something? Because you said wait.
I don't
Shut
know.
up, Chris.
I don't know where it is.
Marshall, it's right
Keel
there.
Austin, here it is.
Yeah, Keel.
This one. Yeah, I
Like,
saw it.
I-
It is what it
It
is.
wasn't even.
Listen,
I just
we'll
thought
end it on this.
Titan
We'll
was
end it
gonna
on this. Thanks you so much for watching. Stay casual. Have a wonderful night. See you over on Flawless Stream. Peace. Stay casual.